This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
If you're in the Minot area and looking for a rental, start here. I just moved and had no idea where to begin, but then I found Creative Property Management. They've got the most listings in town, apartments, townhomes, even single-family homes. They made it easy, helped me find a place that felt like home, and their 24/7 maintenance means no stress. Whether you're new to the area or just ready for a change, book a tour with CPM today.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Verendry Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain: we never stop. Verendry Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, your source for power and information.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Welcome into PSP Network's coverage of Friday Night Football. Tonight's matchup is the Saints from St. Mary's, who welcome in the Firebirds from Devils Lake, North Dakota. My name is Dallas Hanson, joined alongside Josh Cattell. Thank you for being here with us tonight on your Friday night. Well, it's the tale of two teams. On one hand, you have Devils Lake, who's looking to fill some gaps and coming in on a 4-game win streak. On the other hand, you have the St. Mary's Saints, who thought they would be in a different place right now other than a record of 1-4. I would like to welcome in now a vital piece of our commentary team, that is the great, the powerful Josh Cattell. Josh, how are we doing tonight?
Doing good. They brought the A-team back this week.
You got to. So let's talk a little bit about what we saw last week. We saw Minot North versus St. Mary's. different things happening. You saw Minot North's run game kind of take over, if you will, but some bright spots with St. Mary's, the engine that could, and you got the Beckett kid, the running back. Do you expect to see more runs from him tonight?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big part of their offenses. Take some pressure off Tommy, off the quarterback, be able to run the ball, get ahead of the chains, throw when it's a favorable down, not when you have to. I think that's a big thing for their offense is getting Beckett going early.
Well, Josh, last season was a step in the right direction for the Firebirds, who had their first winning season in 7 years. They had a large graduating class last year, lost a lot of skill players, but with that roster they have tonight, there's one player that we were talking about beforehand, kind of their QB1. The kid is a great great baseball player as well, and that's Mason Palmer, a name we'll be saying a lot tonight.
Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, everything goes through him. He operates the offense, and as a coach or as anybody, you love when you're in that situation when you got a senior quarterback with a ton of experience, with a ton of ability, and really excited to see what he's going to do tonight.
Are we going to see some more exotic blitzes from St. Mary's trying to contain him, and maybe we'll see even like a quarterback spy, something when you know that's one of their main players for the St. Mary's D?
It's going to be interesting. You kind of got to play the game out because, if you overcompensate for him, Briar Exner is going to beat you.
Yeah.
He runs. They're big up front. They're able to run the ball. I think defensively, St. Mary's, when you got a player like Mason, one of the best ways to defend him is make Devils Lake one-dimensional. So make him have to be the guy, and then you can concentrate on him. So stopping the run and stopping everybody else is probably going to be the priority, and then you hope to limit a player like Mason.
You've been listening to our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. This is your locally owned oil change headquarters. 25 years of the Lundins taking care of people. Local actually matters. Not to mention, this oil change is a stay-in-your-car drive-through oil change. It's typically performed in 15 minutes or less. Find them in Minot and Bismarck. It's Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Coming up next, we're going to set the table here on a great but windy Friday night here from the Golden Dome. We'll be back. Thank you.
Today, we deliver more wonderful birthdays at Trinity Health Family Birth Center. We offer all new private, family-centered suites. Our maternity team provides more personalized support, advanced care, and the reassurances of a NICU and a neonatologist on staff. Take a virtual tour at trinityhealth.org/Family Birth Center. Trinity Health, making more possible.
Finding the right bank can be transformative for your small business. The best bank for your business will offer competitive fees and so much more. At BNC National Bank, our team is proud to offer you a helpful, supportive, above and beyond banking relationship. Starting to stress about the complexities of qualifying for a small business loan? BNC can guide you through the process with much less stress and likely far more success. Speak to one of our team members today. Member FDIC.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Welcome on to PSP Network. My name is Dallas Hansen alongside Josh Cattell. You're listening to the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. 25 years of Lundins taking care of people. Make sure to check them out in Minot and right here in Bismarck, North Dakota. Continuing on with our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Get a listen to this band. If it wasn't so windy up here, Cattell, we could get a better listen to them. But there's a nice band. Yeah, got to be one of the best.
They're rocking it down there. They're creating an environment, that's for sure, tonight.
Let's set the table a little bit tonight here for what we're going to be watching. Devils Lake coming in with a nice record of 4-1, riding that 3-game win streak. Their first loss was their first game of the season against a very tough Kindred team. Josh, you and I were talking about before the game, and it seems like everybody kind of has a tough game against Kindred. But there's something to be said when Devils Lake comes out of the gates, has a rough one, but then they rattle off 3 straight.
Yeah, I think it goes back to, you got some good senior leadership and some guys that have won, guys that played last year and won a bunch of games. So, no panic. You have the whole season in front of you still. You can control your still destiny. You know what the bar is now when you play a team that's, as dynamic as Kindred, and they've responded very well.
Let's take a look at St. Mary's now. Comes in at 1-4. Mentioned early on in the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show that they had a tough one against Minot North, but take a look at their schedule. Okay, they got Kindred, Minot North, a couple other tough starts to it. And talking to people around St. Mary's, they're thinking, okay, I know we're 1-4. But it's a weird 1-4 because it's against 4 of the best teams in the state. Now let's go on a run, and now let's make a bid at the playoffs.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, last week, second half, holding Minot North to 0 points in the second half. If you're St. Mary's, that's something you got to hang your hat on right now. Offense is struggling a little bit, but the defense can win ball games too. So if the defense keeps you in it, you're going to have a chance to be in a lot of football games.
Well, we talk about the two-heading rushing attack, but a player we need to mention, too, is Zach Richter. I mean, their fullback, he's used in a lot of short yardage situations, but one of those players where it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Let's give it to the Richter kid.
Yeah, and even last week, they were struggling to move the ball, and on first down, they were giving the little fullback dive and getting the ball going, hit quick hitters to the fullback, gaining some positive yards. So it's a great number 2 option, maybe at times a number 1 option for St. Mary's.
Let's talk about our player to watch tonight. And boy, is he a fun one. That's our dual threat. He is Mason Palmer. He's the quarterback for Devils Lake, a really nice player. He's also a heck of a baseball player and someone we can watch on both sides of the football. And what that means is leader on offense, pretty good defensively too.
Yeah, I mean, that's, typically high school football, your best player, one of the best athletes. We always said it in recruiting. Go recruit as many quarterbacks as you can because they're going to, not all of them are going to play quarterback, but there's a lot of things they can do, and they're usually fairly intelligent football players. So you see it offensively. The ball's in his hands all the time. You see it. It's a no-brainer. Defensively, it carries over. All that knowledge from the offense side of the ball he uses on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, it's kind of funny because he's got to call the plays on offense, but defense, he's the free safety and one leader, so he's got to call the plays defensively too. But like we said, it's windy out here. I'm not kidding everybody sitting at home. I don't think you're going to be able to pass the ball if you're going against the wind here in the first half.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, and that's probably you got to give the nod to Mason in that situation.
Right.
Just the ability to spin the ball. You got to be able to spin the football into the wind to be able to throw it accurately and on the spot. So it's going to play a factor for sure. And like I always bring it up, but the kicking game, I mean, that's probably where it's going to play the biggest factor this win tonight.
You're listening to our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Locations in Minot and Bismarck, North Dakota. It's Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Let's take a quick look at our standings before we get ready for kickoff here. Take a look at some of those. I mean, Grand Forks Central 5-0. Kindred, who we talk a lot about, 5-0. Then we head out west. Minot North, they're going to play Watford City tonight. Coach Dooley's got the Watford City Wolves playing very nice. Picked up a huge win against Dickinson at Dickinson last weekend. What do you think about Minot North, though, against Watford? Going to be a tough game.
Yeah, I haven't watched this on Watford, but I've seen Coach Dooley in the past and that offense and what he does. You have to be disciplined. You have to have the spin offense. You don't know where the ball's going. You got to be gap responsible. There's a lot of it's going to be a good test for Minot North tonight.
Then if you look right below Minot North, we have who we're going to be calling tonight. That's Devils Lake, 4-1 overall, 1-0 out here in the West. Fantastic. And then St. Mary's 0-1, 1-4. But like we talked about, that record is a little skewed, if you will. 1-4 is 1-4, but you could easily, with the record and some of the scheduling, be different.
Yeah, and they're going to have an opportunity tonight to either prove that record correct or prove it wrong, and then it's all in their control to be able to change their season right now.
Well, not only will Josh and I be here at St. Mary's, but let's take a look at our Friday night football presented by Bones Barbecue Sauce, Bismarck and Mandan, Minot High versus Legacy. Legacy's been playing outstanding. What do you know about Legacy?
Yeah, another team I haven't watched a ton about, but you see the scores every week and you see what they're doing. And, I think the AAA football right now is pretty even for the most part.
Yeah.
But you're starting to see the cream rise to the top a little bit. The Legacy, Century now with their quarterback back has had 2 great weeks of football. So it's starting to be that time of the year where you see who's going to be the teams that take control. I think Legacy, it's hard to deny them.
And we've got a crew out in Jamestown to cover the Dickinson High Mavericks. They made the mascot change. And then it's us, Devils Lake and St. Mary's. And then how about Southbury Max and Bishop Bryan? That should be fun. Bishop Bryan's been in quite a few close games. And it's a little bit of everything here. 5 games on one night. I know Nick Holberg, our boss, and the owner-operator here of PSP Network, the founder. He was saying, Dallas, I don't know if we can do 5. Well, guess what? We've done 5 games in 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, now he sits and eats his pizza and watches them all and sends us pictures. So
well, tonight he's on the call at Legacy, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he's
so
working.
He's
working tonight. All right. Good for him.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to have my favorite part of the Valvoline Oil Change pregame show, Josh Cattell's keys to the game. We'll be back after a short break from our great sponsors.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Welcome back to Bismarck, North Dakota, the state capital, here on PSP Network's coverage of Friday Night Football. My name is Dallas Sands, alongside Josh Cattell. You're listening to the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Timely services that won't slow you down. Oil changes in 15 minutes or less. Stay in your car, drive-through oil change. Locations in Minot and Bismarck. All right, Mr. Cattell, it's time for the best part of our pregame show, arguably. The Northern Plains Heating and Air keys to the game. Northern Plains Heating and Air. There's no other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Call Dylan today at 222-2155 to make sure that furnace is ready for the winter months ahead. New installation, upgrades, and all your furnace and AC needs. Again, that's Dylan at 222-2155. Let's start off with the home team on the scoreboard tonight. The St. Mary's Saints run the rock.
Yeah, I think we touched on it a little bit, but Beckett Price is the guy that has to get this offense rolling. Last week, they knew it was going to be, we talked about it was going to be a tough time running the football against that Minot North D line. Tonight's probably, there's going to be a challenge again. They're big and strong up front, but you got to establish Beckett Price early so that you can free up Tommy at the quarterback position. The little mistakes, the turning over of the football, the penalties. When you're running the ball, those things seem to go away. And now all of a sudden you get some higher percentage throws. You're not stuck 3rd and longs where everybody in the stadium knows you're throwing. I think that's a big key for them is get Beckett going early.
Now for the Devils Lake Firebirds, who have rattled off 4 straight wins, coming to this one 4-1. You have momentum.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing really good football right now, and they're relying on their seniors and their leaders, and I think you got to build on that. A good road test here tonight. Beautiful night. Wind's blowing a little bit. St. Mary's is going to be hungry and ready to go. Full stands tonight. You got to rally together. You're on the road. It's just you guys on that bus. They got to find a way to keep their momentum going in the right direction.
That was our Northern Plains Heating and Air keys to the game. Again, make sure to call Dylan. Winter's coming, believe it or not, folks. He'll help you out with that furnace. 222-2155. That's Northern Plains Heating and Air. Take one last look here. We got about a minute till kickoff. Any last thoughts you're seeing? We're seeing a little bit of passing out there in kind of pregame, but it was a struggle. What are your last thoughts here before kickoff?
Yeah, I think, it's going to be, can St. Mary's run the ball on offense, and can St. Mary's defend the high-powered offense of Devils Lake? There are challenges in front of them, but we saw them very capable team of defending the football last week. They can defend the best teams in the state. Now, can they do all 3 phases of the game and keep it clean? That's going to be yet to be determined.
You're listening to Josh Cattell. My name is Dallas Hansen. When we come back, Or coming up next, that sounds better. Coming up next, it'll be kickoff here from St. Mary's High School.
Jersey Mike's slices your sub right in front of you, see? The slicer, the meat and cheese, it has a rhythm.
This is the rhythm of the slice. The slice. Oh yeah. The rhythm of the slice. This is the rhythm of the slice. The slice. Oh yeah.
Order for Danny? Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with the hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Points. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's the spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Well, the band is playing when the Saints come marching in. And the Saints are here. We're getting ready for our starting lineups live here from Smecker Field. What a great night for the great game they call football. It's going to be the Devils Lake Firebirds 4-1 against the St. Mary's Saints 1-4. Getting ready for our national anthem here. That was pretty intense when the Saints come marching in, wasn't it? Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, they got the juice flowing right now. A lot of school spirit with the Saints tonight, that's for sure.
I want to apologize. It's Smeeker Field, so my apologies. One mistake tonight there was. Getting ready for the national anthem here as we will pay tribute to the United States of America. We're very fortunate to get to do what we do here at PSP, and it's all because of the armed forces. So we'd like to make sure here at PSP we pay tribute by the playing of the national anthem. We will hand it over to the PA system.
Participants are asked to follow role models at all times and remember that you represent your school and community by your actions. Please help us make good sportsmanship a #1 priority. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we would like to thank and recognize our local law enforcement and the crisis care chaplain team for joining us for providing a pre-game tailgate party. The food was provided by BNC National Bank. This is the 6th year for a Bismarck area Faith in Blue event. Faith in Blue is a worldwide event that is celebrated the second weekend in October each year. At the heart of this initiative, in this reinforcement of connection between law enforcement, professionals, and the community, they serve throughout the reach of the faith-based community. Communities are stronger and safer when residents and law enforcement professionals can relate as ordinary people with shared values, hopes, and dreams. Let's give a round of applause for our local law enforcement.
Giving a round of applause here. It is local law enforcement night at St. Mary's High School, so a nice standing ovation, round of applause for the law enforcement.
At this time, we ask you please stand as we are led in prayer by St. Mary's High School chaplain, Father Jake Magnuson.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, as we come together this evening, we ask you to bless these athletes. Keep them safe from injury and harm. Instill in them respect for each other, and reward them for their perseverance. We ask this through the intercession of Mary, the Mother of God, and the patroness of our school, as we pray together. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Mary, Queen of Victory, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please remain standing as we are about to salute the flag of our great nation. At this time, we ask you to remove any headgear, place your right hand over your heart, and stand at attention as the St. Mary's Central High School Pep Band, under the direction of Mrs. Ann Chambers, plays our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for some football. Enjoy our pregame video as we are gearing up for kickoff here from St. Mary's High School. It is time here at St. Mary's High School. My name is Dallas Hanson, alongside here in the booth with Josh Cattell. Thank you for joining us here on your Friday night. You've been listening to your Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Timely services that won't slow you down. Make sure to check them out in Minot and Bismarck, North Dakota. Josh, I like when a team comes out starting lineups as one group, one solid core. It's kind of the Bill Belichick-esque style of coming out and starting lineups. That's what Devils Lake did tonight. Kind of rare to see.
Yeah, it was good. Let's get this thing kicked off is what it seems like to me. They're okay with we don't need to run through the line. Let's get it out here and play football. I'm a big fan of that.
Me too. As we've got the 4-1 Devils Lake Firebirds taking on the St. Mary's Saints, coming in at 1-4. Let's get ready for some football. Thank you for choosing PSP Network. Make sure you subscribe to our channel by hitting that subscription button on the YouTube page. Also give us a like here. Share this feed with friends and family because it is going to be a fun night. As we did mention, it's Armed Forces Night here at St. Mary's High School, paying tribute to all the police officers, first responders, firefighters, everybody who makes sure we are safe. So it's a nice tribute tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got those guys, boys in blue, man, we love them. I'm glad they're here to protect us and serve. That's awesome.
I think there was even free hamburgers and hot dogs before the game. I missed that.
God, I should have got here a little earlier, I
know. I should have skimped over there, but it is time. So thank you for joining us here on PSP. Devils Lake's going to be with the red helmets, red pants, white jerseys with red trim. The St. Mary's Saints, the white helmets, the blue main jerseys with the white pants. Back deep is the kid we talk a lot about, and that's Beckett Price. He wears number 21. The kid's got some wheels. Correct me if I'm wrong, Josh.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here in the kicking game.
This one could be going deep, Adam Vinatieri style.
Hey, is it going through, or are they going to put it on the ground? What do they do? The returners are up, even though it's downwind, so I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes here as the night goes on.
Up to kick is Briar Exner, kicker for the Firebirds, and we are off. Beckett Price is going to get it. Oh, he fumbles it around. Finds his way at the 15. He's got a space. Beckett Price still around at the 30. Brings it out all the way to the 34-yard line. A good start by the special teams for the Saints.
Yeah, and it looked like the kicker himself, Brian Exner, with the tackle there to get him down. And here we go. Are they going to get Beckett going early? That's going to be a big key to this game.
Well, Thomas Wilson, starting quarterback for the Saints, did struggle a little bit. Last week had 3 interceptions. Tonight, they're going to have to win the turnover battle if they're going to have a chance in this game.
Yeah, it's going to always plays a big part. You want to be on the plus side of that, and starting into the wind, and we're going to see what the game plan is early.
Thomas Newman, the 6'2", 190 junior, under center. Beckett Price, .ci. Twins left. They're going to go with a pass play right out of the gates. We've got a curl route, but they're going to go with the out route in and out of the hands of Brady Ruggles. And you talk about the special playmakers on this Saints football team. Ruggles is one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And early it looks like Devils Lake's going to challenge them to throw the ball. Man-to-man coverage, cover 0, 8 guys in the box. Here you go.
The big man in the middle that plays middle linebacker, a player to watch for Devils Lake. Where's number 6, Cade Fee? Middle linebacker. Heck of a middle linebacker that is. He's a senior, 205 pounds, 6 foot, can really, really hit. Little quarterback out to another incompletion. So back-to-back incompletions. That time they were looking for the big man, Richter. Fullback kind of slid out there on an out route, but that brings up 3rd and 10 for the Saints.
Well, I really like the idea there with the man coverage. If you can get the fullback swiping across the formation and make guys have to communicate and switch or get through traffic to cover guys, just got to be a little more accurate there and get him a ball that he can catch and a little run after.
Talk about the Saints trying to stay in these 3rd and manageables. Well, here's a tough one here going against the wind. 3rd and 10. High formation, Beckett Price in the backfield. They're going to toss it to Beckett Price. Makes one man miss, make it 2. Then he's swallowed up. Nice tackle there by Devils Lake. That was Briar Exner on the tackle. So we'll see what they're going to do here. It's going to be 4th and about 7.
Yeah, and then you see it there, 3rd and long. I mean, you just got to – that's going to be a key for St. Mary's is to stay out of those situations.
Back deep for Devils Lake is Cade Fee. We talked about him a couple times. He wears number 6. Beckett Price out to punt. Decent punt with the win. They're going to call for a fair catch. Catching that was Max Palmer. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, the Devils Lake offense heading out onto the field.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Verendry Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing...
My apologies to Verendry on that commercial. We're going to have the Firebirds. They're going to hand off to their starting running back. That's Briar Exner. He's going to be stopped at the line by a couple of St. Mary's Saints.
Yeah, Dominic Zander gets there early, gets him in the backfield, good play. You know, again, we talked about it pregame. This defense for St. Mary's showed some really good things last week, and there's something to build off of there for sure, and a good start here on first down.
What a job head coach Todd Lambrecht has done with this program. Last year had a heck of a season. This year they're well on their way to having another great season, starting to build a very solid program here for the Devils Lake Firebirds. Back to pass again. Mason Palmer, our player to watch. It is complete. Watch out. It's to Max Palmer. Max gets the first down and more. Brings it out to the 49-yard line. What a nice route by Max.
Yeah, that was a good job there by Max and also by the quarterback there, Mason. He, I don't know if it was an RPO or if it was just play action, but he does a good job. Reads his keys, gets the ball out of his hands early, and anticipates the window. And first down, Devils Lake.
I want to thank Ryan Family Dealership for that instant replay. 1st and 10 for Devils Lake. Mason Palmer, he's going to take it, rolls out to his right, waiting, debating, throws a ball. Oh, almost picked off. Great way to read it by Kendall Hellman. That was a fantastic read.
Yeah, nice job there. A nice job by the DN Barth. Makes Palmer stop his feet and have to go inside, and just changes the angles and their out concepts. And just about a big play there for St. Mary's on first down.
Excuse me, that was Marcus Anderson there on the tipped ball. And you know, Josh, you get the feeling with St. Mary's and their record right now, if they get an interception like that, perhaps a pick 6, that would help their momentum so much.
Oh, yeah. Any way you can find, finding ways to score right now is going to be important for them.
2nd and 10 for Mason Palmer. Outstanding athlete for Devils Lake. He's going to hand off again to Exner. Exner hit at the line of scrimmage, able to get away after the initial hit. Initial hit was by Jackson Barth, but we're seeing a lot of kind of a happy combo run pass.
Yeah, I think they want to be. I think that's who they are. You don't want to sit back and throw it 80 times a game, and especially you got a player like Exner in the backfield who can make a big plays himself, and you're big up front, so it's nice to lean on those guys. But again, great job St. Mary's defense stopping the run.
Packed house here at St. Mary's High School. 3rd and 8 for the traveling Devils Lake Firebirds. Man to the right, man to the left. Player to watch is that tight end Easton Encinas. He now goes in motion. Palmer's going to roll right up the middle, looking for a man. Throws it to nobody, kind of overshot him there. Let's take a second look at that one.
Yeah, he stepped up in the pocket, looked like he was going to run, and then picked the ball back up, and just a little good job by the St. Mary's defense there in pass coverage.
It was a good job by those linebackers to stay true to their spots, and I know we talked about perhaps a quarterback spy or something to that extent, by St. Mary's, and you see a little bit there. The linebackers are making sure they know where Mason Palmer is at all times.
Yeah, just a lot of big zone coverage, just having eyes on the quarterback and having eyes. Ooh, false start. They didn't catch that one there.
Very close. The punter is Mason Palmer. You see him start out in that shotgun. Almost looked they were going for it, but he travels back. The punt is out. It's end over end. Beckett Price is back for St. Mary's. And it's going to roll out of the end zone. Not a bad punt. So St. Mary's Saints, their second time on offense. We've seen a kind of happy medium of the run pass just like Devils Lake did. But with this second possession, Josh, what do you see the Saints doing?
Yeah, they're going to have to find a way. Devils Lake made it pretty obvious they are going to challenge you to throw the football. And maybe that has to do with St. Mary's going into the win. They're just going to play this cover zero, load the box, and make you throw it into it. But for St. Mary's to have success, they're going to have to get some positive yards on first and second down.
Well, the Saints are big up front. They got Roman Barnes, Carter Mitchlitz, just to name a few of those offensive linemen who do a nice job.
Yeah, looks like big Roman's on the sideline on crutches.
Yeah,
he got
it's too
dinged
bad
up
to
last
see.
week. There's Richter for you.
Richter right off the bat, as Josh said, going to gain about 3 yards. Yeah, it's something to mention. Roman, who was an outstanding player, unfortunately on crutches, and last week it looked like he tweaked the knee. Is that correct?
Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like he's got something on the knee down there. But, yeah, good job there on first down. We talked about it pregame. The quick hitters on first down with Richter. Get him the ball, get downhill fast, move the pile, and good start to this drive.
The man focusing up on this offense is Thomas Wilson, QB1. He's going to go in shotgun this time. Twins left, twins right. Man in motion is Brooks Armstrong. Pretty speedy player himself. He's now in the slot. Wilson's going to look. It's going to be close to a pick, but they grab it. It's going to be Brady Ruggles. Brady Ruggles to the 50. Ruggles is going to be snuggled down at the 40-yard line, but Ruggles making an impact early.
Nice job there. St. Mary's, they put their 3 wide receivers to the boundary, put their best wide receiver one-on-one out in space, and that's the risk you take when you're Devils Lake and you're going to play cover zero, man-to-man defense out there on the perimeter. You got to not an easy job to be that corner out there on the island with all that space and having to defend a good athlete like Ruggles.
When you take a gamble like that, you're going to give up a big play, especially with a speedster like Ruggles.
Yeah, and you got to – those corners have to be – they can't be as aggressive in cover zero. They got to keep the ball in front of them. They got to tackle it. Otherwise, you're giving up big plays. You got nobody over the top.
They're going to hand off to Beckett Price. He's going to be stopped after about a gain of 2. And last week against Minot North, Beckett Price was able to find, I think it was 2 30-plus yard gains. He's well over 800 yards so far in the season. He's the engine of the Saints offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And they want to get him involved. And when he gets a little space and gets room to wiggle, he's very dangerous. And we'll see if he can get loose tonight.
Brady Ruggles checks in. Thomas Newman, who's taking care of the football well tonight on the second possession. 2nd and 9 for the Saints. They're going to have trips right. Richter in the backfield with Thomas Wilson. Wilson takes the snap, drops back, looking at the curl route. He's got it very completion, and it's going to be caught and more. How about this play by Jason Hillstrom, and he brings it all the way out to the 15.
That's a good job by Tommy Wilson there. He does a good job of reading the defense, sees his key, throws the easy out. That's the very misunderstanding thing about playing quarterback. Sometimes you can throw it 5 yards and they can run for 50. You know,
Yes.
like you don't always have to throw the bomb downfield. That's a good job of getting the ball out of his hands quickly and on time.
Already tonight, it feels like the Saints are a little more confident than they were at this time last week.
Yeah, I think so. I think they like their matchup on the perimeter, and obviously Devils Lake, this is what they do, and they like it. But you got nobody over the slot receiver right now.
Defense is going to look to gobble him up. Saints now 1st and 10. Oh, we got a false start, a major one. He hasn't even heard the whistle yet, I don't think. That was Brooks Armstrong.
Yeah, I think Devils Lake jumped, but I think we got some movement by the wide receiver for St. Mary's, so I think this one's going to go backwards.
Tonight's Instant Replay is brought to you by Ryan Family Dealership for 50 years. Ryan has been a trusted name for car buyers.
On the offense, number 9. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
In Western North Dakota, shop their entire inventory at driveryan.com or visit one of their 5 locations in Minot and Williston, North Dakota. Again, that's Ryan Family Dealership. 1st and 15. They're going to go with an I formation here, something they did a lot previously in their games. Wilson under center. Beckett Price dots the I. They're going to give it to Richter, the big man, the big fullback. He's going to be downed by who other than Cade Fee. So you're seeing Cade Fee, the linebacker, kind of come in on a blitz right there and meet the fullback at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, those linebackers just don't have, they don't have any responsibility in the pass game if they're playing the man coverage, so they can play fast downhill, and good job there. But imagine we're in 4-down territory with this win, so St. Mary's does not have to get that penalty back all in one play here. Chip away at it and give yourself a manageable 4th down.
Excellent point, partner. Man in motion is Ruggles. Had a great play already. Tommy Wilson, he's going to drop back to pass, fakes it. He's close to getting pressured. Incomplete pass to Richter, but how about that pressure brought to you by the Firebirds defense?
Yeah, they're on him quick, and nice job of getting rid of the ball and retaining the ball, not giving it away to the other team.
It's going to be 3rd and 12 here from the 22. 5:45 to go here in the first quarter. Taking a look here on that replay. They sent the house. That was almost an engage 8, if you will, on Madden. they blitzed quite a few.
That's basically what they're doing. They're just playing man-to-man defense and no responsibilities other than the running back for the linebacker, so they can go, and they are.
Tonight's scoreboard is brought to you by BNC National Bank with locations in North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona. Check them out online today. That's bnc.bank. Wilson back to pass, looks to his right. He's got a man open. It's Ruggles. Ruggles gets the 6. How about Rady Ruggles making him snuggle?
Great throw there by Tommy Wilson. Put it in the bucket, outside the outside shoulder. Good throw and catch. A nice drive there by St. Mary's.
Brady Ruggles, the X factor. We talked about Beckett Price a lot, but it's been the Brady Ruggles show so far.
And that just tells you, we talked about it. Are they going to be able to throw the ball into the wind? And right now, I really like the game plan St. Mary's has in the pass game. They're throwing easy concepts to read, and they're getting the ball out of Tommy's hands fairly quick, and he's executing.
That's a good way to build back your quarterback's confidence after a couple pick game like last week.
Absolutely. Hopefully you forget about it if you're him and you just have that short memory.
Asher Colgan's extra point is up and good. So right now your BNC National Bank scoreboard reads Saints 7, Firebirds 0, 5:39 to go here in the first quarter. We'll be back after a short message from some of our sponsors.
Magic City Home Leisure is excited to introduce the fabulous addition of the Master Spas line, including the phenomenal Michael Phelps Swim Spas. Enjoy the relaxing health benefits and enjoy 0% financing up to 72 months or up to $5,000 off on all spas. You'll also find $2,000 off the MSRP on all pools, swim spas, and saunas. Come see for yourself the outstanding lineup of Master Spas, including the Michael Phelps Swim Spas, exclusively at Magic City Home Leisure.
Taking a listen here at the St. Mary's Band. They do a great job here. You know who else does a great job? That's First International Bank and Trust. They are a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between our employees and customers. Founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural and urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online today at FIBT.com. Saints kick this one deep. It's going to be gathered up and brought out of the 5-yard line. Colby Drone and Levitt. Levitt's got some space. Here goes Levitt all the way to the 50, but we got some laundry. 2 flags. Josh, you're saying holding?
Yeah, looks like there was a hold right at the edge there when he turned the corner. Good return there, but I think this one's coming back.
Drone and Levitt, you talk about X Factor St. Mary's have. Listen to this kid, 5'11", 165. He's a senior. He's a wide receiver cornerback, and you saw the speed he can offer that team right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good return there, but unfortunately coming back. And now St. Mary's defense, we've talked about them. They've been the side of the ball that's had the success. Now you got to play with the lead.
Yeah.
Whole different game, but you still got to deal with Mason Palmer, right?
Holding number 52 of the return team. That penalty is accepted. Will be enforced 10 yards from the spot. First down.
So not 1 but 2 holding calls. A good job by Josh Cattell. That brings them all the way back to the 20. So they gain the momentum back on a big drive, but then they lose it by all the way back to the 20.
Yeah, and right now, if you're Devil's Lake, you got to put a drive together here. St. Mary's has all the momentum. See how they respond.
Mason Palmer looks out to his right. He's got a completed pass there. Nice job on the completion. I believe that was number 3, Max Palmer. So far it's been the Palmer show, and it's interesting to see the
Weston Nelson.
Nelson, excuse me. But he's not necessarily has a favorite wide receiver. That's Mason Palmer. He's kind of spreading the wealth a little bit.
No, it looks like it's a system, right?
Yeah.
A little RPO. He reads his key and throws it to the open guy. I think that's I've been really impressed with how quickly he gets rid of the ball. He's got really good hands back there.
He's going to hand off to his running back. That's Briar Exner. Exner is going to be brought down. Nice tackle there by Dominic Zander.
And Richter in there again as well.
How nice of a player is Richter?
Richter's a good player. You know, we talked about it last week. We kind of chuckled about, I mean, there's been a Richter on this starting defense playing linebacker, it seems like, every year for before my time maybe even.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's a good player. He's got the cowboy collar. We always like that.
I love that.
He gets a star right away just for that.
1,000%. Mike Allstott style.
Oh, yeah.
Mason Palmer, the outstanding senior athlete here, is going to roll out to his left, waiting, looking. He's got some pressure. He's going to go with a deep ball here. He's looking for Max Palmer, but it goes this time. What a play! Beautiful play to Weston Nelson. Sometimes it's good to be lucky, not good, and that time that's exactly what happened. It looked like he was looking for Palmer, but it goes to Nelson.
Yeah, kind of just throws it up there. Good play by Weston there, and he took a shot. He paid the price for that throw, but good throw and catch, and they moved the sticks, flipped the field.
I'm sure if you asked Mason Palmer, that was going to Weston Nelson the whole time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to be real important for St. Mary's, it looks, when they want to do this all this sprint out pass game, to be able to keep it contained and make him have to stop his feet for pursuit. But nice job there by Devils Lake.
2 to his right, 1 to his left for Palmer. This time he's going to hand off again to Exner. Exner is going to be swallowed up after about a 5-yard gain.
Richter was there again.
But something to note, St. Mary's kind of bringing a different defensive mentality, if you will. They're trying to throw the first punch, not get the first punch thrown at them, if you will.
Yeah, and they're you know, against a dynamic offense too, you kind of have to have that bend don't break mentality, and they showed it last week, and they've shown it all year. They're getting tested again right here.
That 3-4 defense by the Saints starting to take on water here as Devils Lake looking to keep going, and it's going to be their running back again. Exner brings it down to the 25, gain of 3. That brings up a short 3rd and 3.
Yeah, a little different run game than we watched, and that St. Mary's had to defend last week. You know, Minot North had all these different schemes and went inside, outside, pulled guys. Devils Lake's just running inside zone, and they're running it really well right now behind the big offensive line.
Palmer's got twins left, 1 to his right. One of his favorite targets, Weston Nelson, is on the right. He's saying something right now in the backfield to Exner, his running back. He's going to give it to Exner on the left side. Exner, excellent move. He's going to pick up the first down and more. They hit him at the line of scrimmage. That was Vincent Langenfelder, but how about Exner? Some power.
Yeah, and again, we talked about it. For St. Mary's, it's going to be important to try to make Devils Lake one-dimensional, and it starts by stopping the run. And so far this drive, they've not been able to do that.
It's going to be 1st and goal here from the Serve Pro Red Zone. Serve Pro 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, advanced technology, fire and water cleanup and restoration at Serve Pro. Palmer sends a man in motion, fakes it, beautiful fake, handoff to Cade Fee. Cade Fee is going to be swallowed up, but how about that play? We got to watch that again.
Yeah, he fakes the quick slant to the right and hands it back to the wing coming back across the other way. Impressed with Palmer's ball skills. You don't talk about that a lot in football, but his ability to pump fake and carry out fakes and the deception back there. You know, if you have bad eyes and you're looking at him, could be a confusing night for you.
2nd and 2 from the 2 for the Devils Lake Firebirds. Palmer right in the middle there. He's going to hand off to Exner this time. Exner, did he get it? Let's see. He did. Touchdown, Firebirds. They score with 1:53 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, good answer by the Devils Lake Firebirds there. They just marched that thing right down the field and basically did what they wanted. St. Mary's going to have to rally here and get back to the drawing board.
Exner, who had a big part of that drive. Multiple rushes, multiple yards, and gets a touchdown. Now on to kick the extra point is Mason Palmer.
Does it all.
He does it all. Punts, pass, punt, kick. Extra point is almost blocked, but it's through the uprights and good. So 1:53 to go on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. It is 7-7. We knew this game was going to be close coming in, but is it everything you expected?
Yeah, so far, St. Mary's, strikes the first blow, and then Devils Lake, what good teams do, answers, and then they did it with, throwing the ball, the big throwing play, but mostly that was Exner that whole drive, and I like the execution, and we're going to have a football game here tonight, it looks like.
Make sure you check out Taylor Schmidt Photography. A big thanks to Taylor Schmidt Photography, a proud partner of PSP Network. Find Taylor Schmidt Photography on all social media platforms. Also want to thank Minot State. The best way to predict your future is to create it. With over 100 areas of study at Minot State, you'll earn the degree for the career you desire. With more than 96% of recent Minot State grads employed or continuing their education, MSU grads get jobs, period. Minot State University, be seen, be heard, be you. Well, so far the offenses, they might be a 10 Minot State. They've been seen and they've been heard as well. We're tied up 7 apiece. Firebirds, they're going to kick this one off. Back to Beckett Price. He's going to gather himself at the 11-yard line. Looking for some blocks. Beckett Price has got a spot. Beckett Price making him pay the price. Here we go, 50, 45. Beautiful job by Beckett Price. This kid is fun to watch.
Yeah, great return there. And, you know, Beckett's the guy who gets all the credit, but nice job blocking by the St. Mary's return unit there. And that's what we talked about. He gets out in open space. He is explosive, and nice touchdown-saving tackle there by Exner.
You know, it's back-to-back weeks. It might be the PSB curse that Beckett Price has had a full steam ahead red zone, end zone style run, and he gets caught by one guy.
Oh, and looks like we got a flag.
Welcome back. On the return team, number 22, Daniel Bradley in the swallow ball. First down.
So both teams negated by fouls on the big kickoff return. We saw the 2 holdings for Devil's Lake after their return to the 48, and now you're going to see St. Mary's. So they're going to start at the 15 after the block and it back. 1:44 to go.
Yeah, that's tough right there. You get a big explosive play, get kind of an answer, and not so fast, my friend.
Get a good look there at head coach Toby Schweitzer of the St. Mary's Saints. Done a good job with this program so far. Trying to get a win, though. He knows the way the season has gone so far. This is almost a must-win for the Saints program. Newman dots the I as Beckett Price in the backfield. Jukes around a little bit, but that's going to go back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, again, just a lot of guys in the box right now for Devil's Lake, and you want to be able to run the ball. You want to get that guy going, but you kind of got to take what the defense gives you as well.
Fun player to watch for Devil's Lake is number 74, Isaac Woodhull. He's a senior, 5'10", 280. So a big
boy
to try to move around down there, and he plays the nose guard position, D tackle position, and it's nice to have an anchor like Woodhull.
Oh yeah, he can. He covers some gaps, that's for sure.
This time they're going to put Thomas Wilson in the shotgun, twins right, puts Beckett Price out into motion. Wilson done a great job so far tonight orchestrating the offense. Looks to Ruggles, and it's going to be almost picked off. Beautiful play by Max Palmer. Palmer, you can see it. He says, I should have had that one.
Yeah, Ruggles kind of quit on the route, which gave Palmer a chance, but that ball's got to get thrown right on his chest there. You know, it's man-to-man coverage. Palmer does a good job of breaking on the ball, but those got to be completions.
Yeah, he stopped about 3 yards too soon. Not sure if he wasn't trying to quit on the ball or thought the play was going somewhere else. Also want to thank Planet Pizza, located in Minot, North Dakota. The best pizza on the planet is Planet Pizza. They've been around for over 25 years and have the largest laser tag playground in the region, a giant lunch buffet, and they deliver. 701-852-1700, Planet Pizza in Minot. Newman back in the eye. Ooh, nice double move here by Hillstrom. It's going to be incomplete, so a good job. Let's take another look at that route as he got him on the curl to go.
Yeah, really good job in coverage there by number 5, Will Heilman. Yeah, nice job there. He doesn't bite on the double move and gets in his hip pocket. And, you know, now if you're St. Mary's, it's kind of you got to kick it back into the wind. You didn't get the clock to get to the second quarter, and this could get
punt is just caught short, so good job there, and it's definitely taking a little advantage there as they punt it into the wind.
Yeah, it's such a big thing when you have to kick it into the wind. Now, you know, your starting field position's at the 42-yard line, positive 42. The numbers say that your scoring average is going to go way up when you start your drive there.
Well, here comes the Devils Lake Firebirds. We saw the Firebirds bring the fire last possession. A lot of run game, but they also let their big playmaker in Mason Palmer have the ball and let some decisions. He had a big completion. We could see more of that. He's got twins right. Player to watch, Weston Nelson, closest to the scoreboard here on the left. Palmer going to hand off again to Brian Exner. The senior Exner, look at him go. There goes again. Briar Exner's going to score 2-4 for 6.
Great run, great execution. St. Mary's in a too-high defense there, just not enough guys in the box, and we can see what he can do with a little space as well.
My goodness, Exner putting on the Jets here as we take a look on our Ryan Family Dealership Insta replay. Oh, no, we won't actually. It's the punt, so Let's take a look at this extra point. Mason Palmer will kick, do the duties. 37 seconds to go. That possession was short, but sweet for Devils Lake fans, is able to score. Palmer's extra point is up, and it is good. So 37 seconds left here in the first quarter. Firebirds 14, Saints 7.
Yeah, big turn and everything there the last 2.5 minutes of this game. You know, first quarter's flying by, both teams are going, and all of a sudden Devils Lake shows how fast they can hit.
Well, it's like this St. Mary's offense, a lot of play action. Sometimes they'll do 6 plays in a row from the power I. Then all of a sudden they'll be 4 wide shotgun. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and you just the big thing is completions. You know, you gotta keep putting yourself in good situations, advantageous situations. Now you're playing from behind, so now you got to do a good job of, answering the bell.
A guy that can answer the bell is Beckett Price, who's back deep. Right now we're getting some last-minute instructions from Briar Exner, kid who just scored, talking to head coach Lambrick there.
Probably just trying to kill as much time as they can, let him catch his breath. I mean,
that's a good point. He might. Taking a good look there at head coach Todd Lambrick, who's done a great job. Last year, a very successful season. Said in our Valvoline Oil Change pregame show, it's tough. When you have a great year, you lose a lot of your senior leaders, and you got to build it back up, but they're doing a good job this year.
Yeah, typically you hope, ideally, you do it through the program, right? You develop them at a young age, and you keep building on it, and it looks like they're doing a good job in Devils Lake.
Little squib kick here goes to Zach Richter. Excuse me, that was also Blaze Warner. So Blaze brings it out, and the St. Mary's Saints offense will trot out to the 35-yard line where they will take over. 32 seconds to go. Are we going to see just one play?
Yeah, we'll see. If they throw it incomplete, we might see a couple, but you can tell Coach Lambrick there, he was not giving them another chance at the kick return. He's going to squib it away from our guy, Beckett Price. I think that might be his game plan the rest of the night.
Yeah, that would be a good game plan, as it's going to be Wilson going to hand it off to Beckett Price here in the I formation. Beckett Price swallowed up again. We talk about those D linemen. That time it was Casey Brown, 6'5", 265. Where's number 50? Good job there by Casey.
Yeah, nice job. Just nowhere to go for the running back there, and we might be getting ourselves to the second quarter, it looks like. No, maybe not.
Maybe try to squeeze one more here. 8 seconds and counting. Wilson just sprinted off from the sideline.
That'll be it.
That's going to be it. So your score on the BNC National Bank scoreboard, that is Devils Lake 14, St. Mary's Saints 7. We've got a few messages from our sponsors that we want to show you. Thank you for joining us here on PSP Network for Friday Night Football. Folks, thanks for welcoming us back here on St. Mary's campus. The Golden Dome meets the Golden Prairie. I want to thank First International Bank and Trust, a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between our employees and customers, founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural and urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online today at FIBT.com. Also want to thank our friends at BSN. They create exclusive, personalized solutions for North Dakota high school and collegiate programs. From custom equipment, uniforms, and coaches' apparel for fans to wear, branding, and more. They do it all. Contact your local BSN sales pro today. One of the managers there is my counterpart tonight, Josh Cattell's brother, Joe Cattell. Shout out to Joe. Joe. We're going to be sitting in the booth with him on basketball season. Excellent basketball mind is Joe Cattell. Tonight's the football mind, Josh Cattell. And the St. Mary's Saints offense trying to get it going here. Richter going to bring it out to the 44-yard line. A nice play off of a long 2nd and 10, and now you get in that third and manageable position.
Yeah, it's huge on first and second down to be positive yards. You get yourself, and now you're not one-dimensional. You can throw it, you can pass it, you can play action. You got your whole playbook, and probably one of the, talk to the defense guys, this is one of the harder downs to defend because you can do everything.
Well, Thomas Wilson tonight, I must say, quarterback for the Saints, has been a totally different player from last week against Minot North. You see the moxie, you see the discipline. You see the athleticism tonight from Tommy Wilson. The junior quarterback going to hand off to Beckett Price. Beckett Price is going to make him pay the price again. Here goes Beckett, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, St. Mary's Saints. Beckett Price is unreal.
What an answer by the St. Mary's offense there. That we talked about in the pass game, but there it is in the run game. When you don't have that the zone coverage and zone eyes by the back half, once you break through that line of scrimmage, there's no one there to get it to the ground, and nice job there answering by the St. Mary's Saints.
Well, if you're a collegiate coach in a collegiate program, a kid to watch is Beckett Price, just a junior, so he'll be with the Saints one more year, but 5'11", 180, he's only going to get better from here on out.
Yeah, what an answer.
Saints looking to add this extra point. It's up, it's low, and it's good. So your score with 11:06 to go here in the first half. Saints 14, Firebirds 14. We're going to take a short break and be back with the kickoff from St. Mary's. Hey, it's PSP Network. My name is Dallas Sanson alongside Josh Cattell tonight. Thank you for choosing us here. Make sure you subscribe to our network on YouTube. Share the feed with friends and family. Give us a like, comment. This game will be available for free. We'll be doing a lot more here the rest of the football way and basketball time. Even doing some volleyball games next week. The Saints are going to kick this one. Almost goes out of bounds, but the Devils Lake will bring it out. Nice job on the return by Dronan Levitt. That time not able to find the space as he brings it out to the 25-yard line. So out trots the Devils Lake Firebirds. And the man under center is Mason Palmer, a fantastic baseball player as well. But tonight he's playing the game of football, and he's been playing it well.
Yeah, so far so good. He's been operating the offense. Last drive was pretty easy. He just handed the ball off a couple times. But he gets it going. He's operating the offense at a high level right now. And obviously, when you're playing defense, you got to know where he's at, and that's probably part of the success in the run game right now.
As my counterpart, Josh Cattell, just mentioned, Briar Exner, who scored last possession, joined the backfield. They're going to toss it this time. Toss is going to go out to Will Heilman. Heilman's going to be gobbled up. How about that St. Mary's defense?
Good play by Barth there, getting it contained. I mean, if that gets blocked, that had a chance to be a big play. But again, we talked about it. Keep it contained. Make them play inside the tackles, whether it's the reverses or the outside runs or the sprint outs. Nice job there by Barth.
Barth has made a lot of great plays, and he's kind of a glue guy for this defense.
Yeah, he's a good player, good athlete, big kid, multi-sport athlete. You see him on the hoops court. You see him in other places and showing up tonight.
2nd and 14 for Devils Lake. They're going to pass. Palmer out to the left. Looking. He's going to flip it. A little Patrick Mahomes-esque flip to Exner. Exner is going to go a few yards, bring it out to the 27-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Firebirds. A nice play there.
Yeah, Exner, he starts blocking the edge, and then he just leaks out into the flat and gets lost in coverage. And now you got third and more manageable, I guess, if you're Devils Lake.
How about this PA announcer here at St. Mary's? He's a big fan of 3rd down, as you can probably hear at home. It's a big play here early on in this football game. We're tied up at 14-14. Devils Lake, 3rd and 8. Palmer takes a snap, fakes. He's going to step up in the middle. Palmer looking, draws a defender, finds a wide open player. It's Cade Fee. Cade Fee out to the 45-40. He's got a blocker in front of him. Will Heilman trying to block. Cade Fee still alive at the 10-5. Gets cut short. How about that play and that blocking?
Wow, and I'm not sure if it was set up that way and they were just trying to bait him into that, but great job finding the wide open. I mean, you typically don't sprint out to the right and throw back to the left unless it's set up, so nice job there by Devils Lake. Good play call. Good execution.
The block by Heilman, showing the wheels to block it for Cade Fee. So now they're in the Serve Pro red zone, 9:48 and counting. Firebirds Trying to make an answer after the Saints made it look easy with Beckett Price. In motion is going to be Will Heilman. And we fumbled the snap. Briar Exner, right place, right time. He's going to have a chance to score. Spin move, and he's going to be scores. How about Exner?
Wow, a little bit of backyard football there. Kind of bobble the snap and the exchange, and he just picks it up and goes, I'll just take it in. How about that? And touchdown, Devils Lake.
Devils Lake getting lucky a couple times tonight, but Exner, he shows his power there, absorbs contact, spins out of it, and scores.
Yeah, big, strong kid, and then showed it there, finishing the run. And here we thought we were going to see some defense maybe tonight, and it looks like we're got an offensive entertainment going on.
Well, folks, this has been a whale of a football game. Make sure you tell all your friends and family. It's free. All I have to do is log on to YouTube. It's going to be Palmer for the extra point. His kick is up and good. So the Firebirds, with 9:32 left to go in the first half, take the lead 21-14. Let's put the coaching cap on you, Josh. You're St. Mary's. What are you looking out of this possession? Work the clock a little bit or try to get it in your playmaker's hands?
I don't think you're worried about the clock right now. I think you're worried about how do we continue to execute.
Yeah.
They've got 14 points up. They've answered everything they've had to so far, and you gotta get back on the field and do it again. Obviously, what they're doing is working, so keep doing it and keep executing.
I want to thank Northern Plains Heating and Air. There's no other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Call Dylan today at 222-2155. Winter is on its way, unfortunately, so you're going to want to have that furnace up and ready to go, and there's nobody else to call. The Northern Plains Heating and Air. Again, that's Dylan at 222-2155. How fun are those keys of the game for you? I have a blast when you talk about that.
That's your go-to, huh?
That's my go-to.
That's your enjoyment. Yeah, I mean, it's fun to get an idea of what these different teams from around the state are doing and who are the players. And, yeah, it's very enjoyable.
That's a live ball, by the way. Good heads-up call there by Dominic Zanders. He was able to get that. What a kick. I mean, I don't think he meant to do that, but it turned out great.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to squib it away from Beckett, and turns out to be a good thing for St. Mary's is they're going to have great field position to start this drive.
I mean, St. Mary's only had Dominic Zander around there to – if he misses that, I think the Firebirds get that football. But they didn't, so 9:32 to go. Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, heads-up play there. I mean, that's special teams. Those are some of the stuff we talked about before the game, right? All the little things, not turning the ball over, making the play that needed to be made there. That's a good heads-up play there.
Player to watch this possession for the Saints, Brady Ruggles, number 14. Out split out to the left this time. Newman under center. He's going to hand off to Beckett Price. Again, Beckett Price absorbs contact, picks up 7 yards. Beckett Price.
I like what we're seeing right now, St. Mary's. They're trying to run the ball, but they're not trying to be cute. They are running it right at you, not trying to pull a bunch of people and all this cute stuff there, going right at them. And another big run here on first down for Beckett Price.
I wonder how many miles Tommy Wilson puts on going back to talk to Coach Schweitzer each play. I mean, he's got to be in shape.
I tell you what, we got to get some risk coaches and get some number systems to some of these high schools. I don't know, or you got to have a wide receiver that can send it in, right?
Yeah, something. Wilson under center, I formation this time. Barth goes into motion. They're going to hand off. Brought down. We've got laundry all over the field, folks.
I don't think this is the right call. I think the receiver on the right was covering up the tight end, and
let's listen here on our white cap tonight.
Legal formation.
Legal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second out.
Well, you know the white cap tonight, right?
Yeah, Jed Steiner, good Jimmy legend, played baseball at Jamestown back in the day, and getting all sorts of time tonight on the old loudspeaker.
How about the Jamestown Jimmies going to face off against the Marauders tomorrow? That rivalry might be reignited.
Big homecoming game. We'll see what happens. Last time we played them in homecoming, I'm just going to say the Jimmies were on the right side of that scoreboard, so hopefully they can some of these Bismarck people might not appreciate that. But
well, I know one referee, and it's Brady Weber. He's a line judge tonight. Beckett Price gets another gain of about 6 yards to make it 3rd and 6, we'll say.
Yeah, good positive run again, going right at him. Makes a guy miss in the backfield. He's very elusive. He's low to the ground when he runs. He gets behind his pads and falls forward, and been very impressed so far tonight, and obviously last week as well.
Clock is running. We're just about 8 minutes left here in the first half. Ball's on the 43-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 5. Newman's going to go under center I formation. Like we mentioned, folks, something to watch with the Saints offense. They'll go in I formation, and then all of a sudden they'll be in trips, but this time I. Beckett Price dots it. Newman fakes to Beckett Price, rolls out to his right, looking for Richter. Richter missed it. Oh, that was a gimme. Almost too high of a pass. Let's take another look on the instant replay by Ryan Family Dealership.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, it's like we talked about earlier. You get that man coverage. You get a running back slipping out of the backfield, and gets kind of lost in the play action of it, and that could have been a big play there for St. Mary's.
Instead, it brings up 4th down and 5. They going to punt or go for it?
God, it might be a
might be go for it time.
Might be we better score kind of game for St. Mary's. Hard count maybe.
There you go.
Looked like he gave him a little extra coaching in the huddle, so we'll see if they go for the old go for on 2.
Thomas Wilson indeed brings out the hard count.
And it's 0.
And they're going to call a timeout here. So we'll take time as well. It's a timeout brought to you by First International Bank and Trust. Or actually, they're going to take a delay of game, excuse me. So we're going to keep it right here as the punt team will come on, and Josh talked about it, trying to get the hard count, and they just accept the penalty. So moving back 5 brings it to 4th and 10. Ball's on the 37-yard line. Back to punt for St. Mary's is Beckett Price.
Now they call the timeout.
Now we're going to have a timeout. Lots of confusion down there. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, 4th and 10 for the St. Mary's Saints.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Ferendry Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain: we never stop. Ferendry Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, your source for power and information.
Welcome back to PSP Network. My name is Dallas Sanson, joined alongside Josh Cattell. I want to thank a few of our sponsors that made tonight possible. Farstead Oil. Contact Farstead Oil today to find out how their skilled sales team can help you achieve your full sale, fuel, mobile lubricants, and DEF needs. They proudly serve North Dakota, Montana, and western Minnesota since 1938, and they are committed to their outstanding customer service and being reliable. That's Farstead Oil. Well, reliable right now for St. Mary's. Beckett Price, he's going to keep it. The punt is on now. Go. Look at Beckett Price go. Beckett Price, the fake is on tonight at St. Mary's. Wow, did you see that coming, Cattell?
I did. You know, in my mind, when they took a delay of game and then called a timeout, you thought, ooh, did they mess up something that they had planned to do? You know, you see Devils Lake, they don't rush the kick. And that gives them a ton of time to be able to manipulate and do it. And they had a little unbalanced formation. Nice call there. And I think we know where Coach is at as far as we got to score some points tonight. We can't be letting this Palmer kid get the ball in his hands again.
Special teams making special plays tonight at St. Mary's High School. Thomas Wilson under center. Going to hand it off to the big man. That's Zach Richter. The fullback goes forward for about 4 yards, brings up 2nd and 6.
That is just absolutely great movement by the interior O-line for St. Mary's there. They move that point 5 yards, easy run for the fullback, and they've had a lot of success when they've ran right at you. Quick hitters, right at you, ISO, fullback dives. I'd imagine we're going to see a handful more of that as this game goes on.
Saints going to break the huddle. Going to send out 2 wide receivers. Big tight end to watch is number 44, Jackson Barr, 6'4", 245. He's on the right side right now. Newman in shotgun. He's going to roll out to the left. Newman facing pressure. Newman's going to be sacked. How about that play? Big 1-8. Jackson Strong. Tommy Wilson?
Not Newman. Tommy Wilson.
Tommy Wilson, excuse me. But it was got a lot of names up here tonight. It's Jackson Strong with the quarterback sack, and Jackson Strong just kind of filled that gap and was able to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, again, they went with the play action and just probably too much stuff going on in the backfield with Devils Lake being so downhill defensively. Probably just need to get the ball out a little quicker. But, again, I'm assuming you're getting close to 4-down territory here, so maybe you don't need it all back right now. But he signals the receiver on the right.
Peyton Copy on the right, as my partner just talked about. Beckett Price gets the toss. He's going to head out to the left. He's going to be gobbled up there by Luke Wasness. Short gain of 3 yards, they're going to call it. Brings up 4th down. Another big 4th down here for St. Mary's. They're going to go for it.
If you're St. Mary's, you really, I mean, you want to kind of capitalize off that fake punt. You had the big play, and hopefully you can keep this drive going so it doesn't go for naught.
Well, it is 7:45 here in Bismarck, North Dakota. The wind has died down quite a bit. So it's going to be Thomas Wilson. Sends Beckett Price out in motion. Wilson looking, debating. He's looking for Beckett Price on the fade. Beckett Price, it's going to be picked off. What a nice play by Devils Lake. Heading the other way, it's the matchmaker that is Will Heilman. Heilman's going to bring the interception out, and just when you thought St. Mary's was kind of making a run here, they throw the football away.
Yeah, and I really like the call. They went the double post with the wheel route. Man coverage, it should be good. Just Heilman comes off his guy, sees the ball in the air, makes a play on the football. Nice job by him.
Well, Devils Lake, I guarantee their coaching staff is saying wherever Beckett Price is, we need to have eyes on him.
Right, and I think ideally if you go back and you could recoach that, you'd say get that post and run across the field as far as you can.
Yes.
Get away from Beckett, but good play by that young man, and here we go. Defense got to pick him up.
Devils Lake with a 7-point advantage right now. We're going to have a timeout on the field. Timeout will go to St. Mary's. We're going to take a short break. They were choosing PSP Network.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Banking is some of the most important things in your life, and banking at the right bank is very important. We're really proud of our bank because we have great people, and our people are what make our bank go. We always want to treat our customers right and do the best job we can for them, and try to do things to help make our communities better.
Apologize to our sponsor there. Want to make sure we get back here on the field. Devils Lake going to throw a short little screen out here, this time to Dronan Levitt. Levitt's going to gain up close to a 1st down, but we're going to have a flag on the play. Josh, what'd you see?
A little block in the back, it looks like.
So Dronan Levitt, that's 2 times he's got the football, and flag's called.
Yeah, right idea, though. You're 2 for 2 out in the perimeter. Go get it out to an athlete in space and see if you can make somebody miss, and unfortunately, you just had a little penalty there.
Don't forget about our Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show coming up here in 4 minutes and 55 seconds. So they're going to move Devils Lake back here quite a bit. So that'll bring up 1st and 15 now rather than 1st and 10 after the block in the back.
It'll be about 18, it looks like.
Yeah, correct. It is 1st and 19, so ball's on the 22. Palmer, Twins right, one man to his left. Palmer takes the snap, play action. He's going to go deep. A lot of contact. No call. Weston Nelson was the intended wide receiver. Let's take another look here.
Yeah, I think that's a good no call there. They just got tangled up. They're both kind of fighting for position, and I don't think that ball was catchable after all that anyways.
Turf monster got him, looks like. That ever happen to you in college? Turf monster?
I never ran fast enough for that. I didn't. I sat in the pocket and threw it. I didn't do a whole lot of running around. We played on grass too, so there might have been some clumps out there that got me once in a while.
2nd and 19 for Devils Lake. Bring a man in motion. That's Dronan Levitt. They're going to hand off though. Draw play to Exner. Exner, good tackle there by
Beckett.
Who other than Beckett, but.
That's a big tackle, open field, big gain. Got a bunch of it, half of it back there for Devils Lake, but those are huge plays. That's not easy to do. Open field tackling against another, they're one of their best players in space.
Especially Exner, 6 foot, 205. That's a lot to bring down.
Yeah, he's not a little guy.
3rd and 8 from the 33. for the Firebirds, looking to improve to 5-1. 4 minutes till halftime. Palmer takes a snap. He's going to go deep here. A lot of contact. Chance for Beckett Price. Incomplete. Man, Weston Nelson met head-on with that quarterback, and they were pushing and shoving. We're supposed to be running his route here. Take a look at our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay.
Yeah, good pressure by St. Mary's. Gets in Palmer's face, gets him off rhythm, and he just has to throw that thing away.
Yeah, you see on the top of the screen, cornerback and Weston got into a little bit there, but 4th and 8 now. You see this unique punt formation. They make it look like they're going to go for it every time. Quarterback's going to motion back now. They'll adjust.
Blocked
it's almost, they did block it, partially blocked. What a play there. Excellent job by Dominic Zander. Let's take another look. Zander just comes right off the right side there and gets a fingertip on it. So excellent field position for the St. Mary's Saints. 3:48 to go. You've got a lot of football left here.
And we talked about it before the game. We've talked about it during the game. Special teams, all three phases. Yeah. And right now, St. Mary's is winning the special teams battle. Fake punt, got the block kick now, doing some good things on special teams.
2 to the right, 2 to the left. Thomas Wilson. He's thrown 1 touchdown tonight and 1 interception. Wilson drops back to pass, looking to the trip side. He's looking there for Brady Ruggles. Ball's incomplete. Nice job defensively there by who other than Briar Exner. My goodness.
You know, I'd really like to see St. Mary's get back to some of that stuff they did early in the game, in the past game with, put the 3 receivers into the boundary, put Ruggles out to the field and say, here we go, our best versus yours, a lot of space, try to defend it. And then some of those quick concepts as well. But good job defensively by Devils Lake there.
Checking in the football game is Jackson Barth, tight end, 6'4", a big target for Tommy Wilson. He's on the left-hand side. Ruggles is on the top of your screen on the right side. Excellent wide receiver with a lot of speed. Wilson out of shotgun, 2nd and 10. Again, looks for the big tight end that we just talked about, Barth. He's going to gain. Oh, it's incomplete. Incomplete pass here.
Kind of thought it was a fumble, but he has a better view than I do down there, I can tell you that much.
Ryan Family Dealership instant replay. We see Barth. Oh, boy.
Yeah, they unfortunately don't have the replay.
Down there, yeah, I know.
But I asked, I said, let's get back to some of those concepts. They went right back to one of the concepts that Tommy threw really well in the first quarter and had success, just got to execute it a little better at the tight end position.
Well, like you said, Josh, there's something to get him back, quick steps, get the ball out. Don't let him feel the pressure at all. And you got to get back to that. Beckett Price, they're going to hand it back off to him. Beckett Price, ooh, nice spin move, almost gets the first down. He's going to be about 3 yards short, so it's going to be 4th and short. And you get a feeling this Devils Lake defense is kind of a bend-don't-break-esque style this possession.
Yeah, and if you play this style of defense, though, it's kind of all or nothing. It's you mentioned the engage 8 earlier. You're susceptible to the big play.
Yeah,
I mean it's fact, right? And they obviously know the risk with what they're doing, and we'll see if they can get off the field here on 4th down.
4th and 2 from the 41. St. Mary's Saints trying to tie this football game up, down by 7. Clock is running, 2:53 and counting. Wilson, we're going to have a flag. Oh, boy.
I think the wide receiver flinched.
Oh, boy. He did. So a killer penalty for the Saints. It's going to back them up, making it 4th and 8 now. You still go for it?
Yeah, it looks like it. They're in their positive area of the field. You know, you punt it, you get it to the end zone. Now you're only gaining 20 yards. You know, probably the right decision. It's just about executing at this point.
Saints taking their time right now. 15 seconds on the clock. Play clock, that is. Now we're going to have a timeout. Timeout on the field with 2:49 to go in the first half. We're going to take a timeout as well. You've been listening to Friday Night Football on PSP Network.
Sund Manufacturing is hiring exceptional welders, carpenters, assembly technicians, and coating technicians. If you're right for Sund, Sund is right for you. Since 1939, we've been making quality equipment and parts for the oil field and beyond. We're world-class, family-owned, and all-American. And as our business grows, we need to grow our team in Newburgh, North Dakota. Sund Manufacturing offers great pay, great benefits, and a great community to raise a family. Apply today.
Welcome back to St. Mary's High School. The Golden Dome is high above tonight with a light on it, and the lights are on here on the football field as well. A beautiful place for a football game. Devils Lake crowd has traveled well. They find themselves over there as on our side. The stadium is full, packed house. Parking was tough. It's all because we have a heck of a football game right now. Wilson back to pass, looking at the curl route, looking for copy. No go there, so good idea, just didn't complete it. He was close, actually, the first down if he would have caught it. So yeah, Devils Lake, big defensive stand.
Yeah, just a little off there. And, you know, good job, Devils Lake there. Goes into a big zone coverage, 3rd and 8. No one is passing down. Play with your eyes to the quarterback and get off the field.
So this Firebird offense showing a lot of fire, specifically with the wide receivers they have. Max Palmer, Weston Nelson. Even Dronan Levitz got in on the action. Nelson, he's on the far right side. The man throwing the football is Mason Palmer. He's been outstanding tonight. Palmer in the middle. Nice catch. Beautiful play by Will Heilman. Heilman's going to pick up the first down and more. How about the great athletic ability there?
Yeah, nice job. Good throw and catch. One thing you don't see a ton in high school football is throws across the middle.
Yeah.
And they major in it at Devils Lake and having some success right now as this drive starts with a nice slant route.
I like how Heilman put up the Randy Moss, hey, I'm open on a slant route. You got to acknowledge that. That's what it's all about.
That's the no-no, man. All you're doing is telling the defense you're open, too. You got to keep that hand down.
1st and 10 for the Firebirds. Oh, we almost got an interception. What a beautiful read on the play. Close call. It was Cale Burns.
Yeah, just when we say the throwing across the middle, that's the problem. Most people,
yeah.
You get to high school, and it's hard to throw it across the middle through all that traffic. Nice play on the ball, just couldn't finish it.
My apologies. That was actually Jacoby Grimm that almost got the interception there. So 2:14, 2nd and 10 from the 49. Devils Lake looking to get a little insurance going into halftime. Already up 7. Interesting formation here. We got a tight trips right. They're just going to hand it off to the big man in the middle who's had his way tonight. Exner, not that time, though. Gain of 1. Good job by the St. Mary's defense.
Yeah, nice job there. And, I think St. Mary's is kind of like, hey, we like it when you bunch it all up and let us play in the box. It's the spreading it out that has given them trouble, so it'd be interesting what Devils Lake does moving forward with some of those formations.
Fans starting to come alive here at Smeeker Field. 3rd and 9 from the 48. Palmer back to pass. It's going to be great job by Briar Exner. Exner is going to bring it all the way to the 24-yard line. So just when they need him, the guy who's made play after play comes through.
Yeah, just when I say it, they come back to that bunch formation, get St. Mary's eyes a little bit where they're not supposed to be and lose track of the running back out of the backfield. And good execution, good play call there by Devils Lake.
Exner, 205 pounds, but he runs like he's 180.
Until he hits you.
Palmer is going to give it right back to Exner. Exner, nice open field tackle by a few Saints. But that was your guy again, the big guy, Zach Richter.
Yeah, nice job filling the hole there, and might have a timeout here.
We'll have a timeout on the field with 1:10 to go here in the first half. Thank you for choosing PSP Network. We've got a lot of football games going around tonight. Make sure you, during halftime, you want to check out a few other ones. Let's take a look at that schedule of events here on PSP Network. It's brought to you by Bones Barbecue. Oops. Well, not tonight, I guess, but we got 5 football games. Owen Patterson is out in Jamestown. I know Nick Holberg is over at Legacy alongside Bryce Gutnick. A plethora of football. That's right, a plethora of football. But we also have volleyball, soccer. Tuesdays and Thursdays are usually for volleyball and soccer, and we're excited for this winter. We're going to be bringing you a lot of basketball, A lot of WD action, Class B action. I know we had a meeting last week discussing how many games we're going to do, what we're going to do, and who we're going to be about, and we're just going to give a little bit to everybody. So really excited here for PSP Network and Winter Sports, but really excited about this upcoming play. 2nd and 9. This is a big one on the 23, 1:10 to go. Fresh out of a timeout, Devils Lake with the football. It's going to be a quarterback draw. Nice play here by Mason Palmer. Watch out, this kid's got some fuel. He's going to bring it out to a 1st down and more and bring it to the Serve Pro red zone.
Yeah, good play there. And now you're the Firebirds. You got a minute left in the half. You still got 2 timeouts. You got a ton of time here, but execution is going to be important.
I got to give a tip of the cap to the kid who's doing film next to us. He's got a broken wrist or broken forearm, and he's holding up an iPad with that broken forearm. How about the tenacity from the videographer tonight?
Team player.
Exner's going to get the toss. Starts out left, then goes his way up the middle. It's going to be another timeout here by Devils Lake. 41 seconds left. So with the timeout situation, you got 1 left. Are you going to try to run it again with Exner if given the time?
You know, I'm probably going to throw it here. Then you got a chance to make the best call possible on 3rd down, and then you can use your timeout at that situation if you need to. If you run it here, you use your timeout.
Yeah.
You kind of limit yourself. Now, if you do run it, you call your timeout, and then you got to have a bunch of 16 to 8-year-olds execute 40 seconds worth of football. And if it's me, I'm throwing it here, and then, best play call for 3rd down.
Wow, look at that. Beautiful job here by our camera crew and everybody who does a good job. John Haugen, one of the guys tonight. PSP wouldn't be what they are tonight without Mr. Haugen. But 2nd and 3 right now for Devils Lake on the 6-yard line. So 6 yards until pay dirt for the Firebirds. Kid I'm going to be watching is Max Palmer. He's kind of been quiet since early on in the 1st quarter. Mason Palmer, he's a shifty quarterback as well. Could see another quarterback draw. Mason Palmer back to pass, looking at the slant route, and it's a touchdown. What a beautiful route, beautiful play. And guess who? Weston Nelson this time.
Yeah, nice job. Good throw, good catch, good route, good execution by Devils Lake there.
You can really sense how the crowd here at St. Mary's died after that completion of Weston Nelson and 6 points. How about the pass by Mason Palmer? Got his feet set, just delivered it right on the money.
Put it on his body and let him be the only guy who could catch it. Made the defender have to go through him. Nice job.
Firebirds with the extra point. It's going to be Mason Palmer. Palmer, kick is up, almost blocked, but it will be good. So your score right now with 37 seconds to go in the 1st half. Devils Lake 28, St. Mary's 14. We're going to keep it here. As the Saints, we know their offense is a little run heavy with the running back that is Beckett Price, but also Wilson has been throwing the football really well tonight, but it's been on short routes. Can they go with the fade or the post? Is that asking too much?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can take a shot. You just got to say, hey, it's either we catch it or nobody catches it. We're not giving them any momentum back. You don't have a ton of timeouts, so you want to end this half with either the ball in your hands or score points on the board. You can't have a turnover and give them another opportunity to spread this thing out farther than it already is.
Well, it was windy when we were setting up here for PSP, but it has since died down, so wind will no longer be a factor. It's turned out to be quite a beautiful night here in North Dakota. We're at the capital city, Bismarck. Kicking off the football for Devils Lake is going to be Briar Exner. He's also a heck of a running back. He pooches this one. Fair catch. Wow. I'd like to see that. How about the play by Marcus Anderson? A little fair catch there.
Yeah, nice job there on special teams. Those are the little things. Obviously, it's getting coached because these guys have executed a couple different things on special teams tonight. And nice heads-up play there by number 12.
Wow, Trotz, Beckett Price in this offense for St. Mary's. A player in the 1st quarter that did really well, but we haven't heard much of since, is Brady Ruggles, number 14, their wide receiver senior. Very fast player, almost the X factor, if you will. He's a player to watch on this drive. 37 seconds left. They're at the 39-yard line, so quite a ways to go.
Yeah, it's just going to be, we're going to see real quick what kind of thought process they have to end this half out.
Wilson is going to drop back to pass. Sees Ruggles. Ruggles gets a nice catch.
Oh, get out of bounds.
Tried to get out of bounds. Exner, good job on the tackle. So the clock will continue. That's an important part there, Josh. He should have just dove out. Clock would have stopped. Twins right this time. Wilson's going to spike it. 18 seconds left. Clock will stop on the...
Yeah, there's just so many intricacies to football, and then you get into, 2-minute drill. These are all the things. You got to think about this. You got to think about that. Unfortunately, in the moment, sometimes that stuff doesn't get to you, but we'll see what they're doing here. Being aggressive, I like that for St. Mary's.
3rd and 4 on the 45. You've got 0 timeouts left, so Saints either need to get some out routes to get out of bounds or a big completion here. Ruggles, who just had the catch on your far left. Wilson in between 2 running backs. In the shotgun, Wilson drops back, looking. Nice play out to Copy. Copy's trying to get out of bounds. Good job by a host of Devils Lake Firebirds. One of them was Heilman.
That's going to be all she wrote for this half.
And that will be all she wrote. They're trying to get the spike down. Let's see if they do.
You can't spike it. It's 4th down.
You got to go. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
And it's going to be intercepted by Mason Palmer. Palmer, he's just going to jog out of bounds. So how about that to end the half? A lot of confused people here at St. Mary's High School.
Yeah, I mean, they got the play off, just trying to throw it up there. And lucky for them, the damage was minimal, that one. It's going to show up in the stat sheet, but it's not really affected the game at all.
Your score at half, Devils Lake Firebirds 28, St. Mary's Saints 14. Coming up next, we've got our Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show. We'll be back after a few messages from our loyal sponsors.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Ferendry Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain: we never stop. Ferendry Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, your source for power and information.
If you're in the Minot area and looking for a rental, start here. I just moved and had no idea where to begin, but then I found Creative Property Management. They've got the most listings in town: apartments, townhomes, even single-family homes. They made it easy, helped me find a place that felt like home, and their 24/7 maintenance means no stress. Whether you're new to the area or just ready for a change, book a tour with CPM today.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters, unlike those guys. We take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
If the job involves dirt, we can tackle it. Dig It Up Backhoe Service. Site preparation, demolition, road building and grade raises, culvert installation, directional drilling, and every kind of dig. No job too big or too small. It's Dig It Up Backhoe Service. Find them online, digitupbackhoe.com, or call 701-722-3315. It's Dig It Up Backhoe.
You worked hard, saved well, and invested wisely. Whether it's paying for a child's education, taking the family trip you've dreamed of, giving back to the community, or funding a confident retirement, we can help you reach your goals. We are passionate about helping you make smart decisions about your spending and saving so you can feel confident about the future while enjoying life today. Together, we can design a personalized plan that takes into account your short and long-term needs and wants, but is flexible enough to adjust as your life changes.
Welcome back to our Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show. Right now it's Devils Lake 28, St. Mary's 14. How about John Haugen for the Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show, getting us some moonlight here at the capital city in Bismarck, North Dakota. Good job, Mr. Haugen. Excellent job as always. My name is Dallas Hansen alongside Josh Cattell. Tonight's halftime show is your home renovation specialist in the Magic City, which is Minot, North Dakota. If you've been putting off the basement, kitchen, bathroom, or any interior renovation, now is the time to book your free estimate with MHI. Listen to this. Mention PSP Network and get up to 10% off your project's invoice. Call Drew now at 701-721-4612 or head on home to moonlighthomeimprovement.com. Again, that's moonlighthomeimprovement.com. So take a look at this score, 28-14. We've seen a few different things. We've seen some passing touchdowns. We've seen some rushing touchdowns. But overall, as a game, how do you feel this has went?
You know, I think it's been an exciting game. I mean, both offenses early, it was punch, counter, punch, punch, counter, punch. And then Devils Lake kind of at the end of that half had about a 3-minute span where they just took over the game a little bit. And now St. Mary's going to have to regroup and try to find a way to stop the two-headed monster of the run-pass game that Devils Lake has. You got to stop one of them at least and then try to defend the other one as best you can. And then offensively, they're going to have to score because Devils Lake doesn't look like they're stopping on that side of the ball.
If we're looking at Devils Lake, Josh, and there's a couple of nice playmakers they have on their team, who's impressed you more? Is it quarterback Mason Palmer, or how about this wide receiver trio of Will Heilman, Cade Fee, Max Palmer, Weston Nelson? Is it quarterback making these guys look good, or is it wide receivers making the QB look good?
Well, I think it's all good, but I think I think their job's gotten a lot easier because of Briar Exner.
Yeah.
I mean, the ability to run the football and the ability to just be able to hand the ball off and let that guy go get positive yards. Now, all of a sudden, when you go to pass, you got a little more space. You got a little more room. Guys are a little more open. It slows the pass rush down a little bit. So I think he's been the X factor tonight for him is the running of the football. But then you add all those athletes who are running good routes. They're catching everything thrown at them, and Palmer's putting it on them. It's an impressive offensive unit right now. And then a couple little wrinkle plays. They have the Exner slips out. They have the bunch formation. They run everybody across the formation and slip the running back into the flat for a big gain on that last drive. They had the big one the 2 drives before where they slipped the guy. They sprinted out to the right and then threw it all the way back to the left for the Alabama route or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the offense has been very, very impressive so far tonight for Devils Lake.
You're listening to the Moonlight Home Improvement Halftime Show. Make sure to give Drew a call at Moonlight Home Improvement, 701-721-4612, or head to moonlighthomeimprovement.com. Let's talk a little bit about St. Mary's. We knew coming into this football game that Beckett Price was going to be somebody that they're going to have to deal with defensively for Devils Lake. But all of a sudden, you're seeing Brady Ruggles start to really come into his own.
Yeah, and I think they've done a great job of getting Beckett going. You know, we talked about that being a key. Let's get that guy going, and then we can lean on him a little bit, and it'll make everybody's job easier. I would really like to see for them to, in my opinion, for them to get back in this game, they're going to have to put Ruggles out in space and give him some of those matchups and try to get the big play that way and have him win the one-on-one out in space, because he's got the ability. Tommy Wilson has the ability to get him the ball. I'd like to see a little bit more of how do we get that athlete the ball one-on-one out in space.
Well, you mentioned it during the broadcast, Josh, and I thought this was a great call. You said Thomas Wilson is doing these quick dropbacks, and they're getting the football out of his hands fast and early. And when he was doing that, there was no struggles in that offense. Then they kind of tailored it away, trying to look for some bigger plays, and he struggled. So there's something to that.
Yeah, and part of the going downfield throwing stuff is they found themselves in 3rd and longs, and they found themselves in bad situations for quick game. But I still think even with the 3rd and long, you can run that play where you get the back out in the flat and have him, crossers and whatnot, and you can get the ball out of his hands and give yourself a chance. You don't always have to throw it past the stick. Sometimes you can throw it short and hope the guy makes somebody miss. So we'll see how that develops in the second half here for St. Mary's.
You've been listening to our Moonlight Home Improvement Halftime Show. Make sure to check them out in the Magic City. They're your renovation specialist. They work on basements, kitchens, bathrooms, or any interior renovation you might need. Make sure to check them out. That's moonlighthomeimprovement.com. Call Drew today at 701-721-4612. Does St. Mary's have a comeback in them, or is Devils Lake going to continue this nice run, looking for their 5th win in a row? We'll be back with kickoff, second half, here on PSP Network.
So Carson, how do I become a great football player like you?
Well, practice and having a professional team to answer the call and handle anything you throw their way is also important.
Hey Carson, thanks for teaching crew about community banking at First Western. First Western, you can bank on us.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's gonna go, so.
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved.
Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
For those who dream big, Ackerman Estvold is here with the latest tools and innovations to design smart. Our team of architects and engineers carefully plan every step of construction, making it possible to build bold. And most importantly, we know how valuable it is to give back, ensuring our communities continue to thrive for generations to come. That's Ackerman Estvold.
Welcome back to PSP Network. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Josh Cattell. You're getting a good look at the players who are coming back on the field. St. Mary's are going to try to make a few scores and come back into this football game. They need a win, and they need it bad. And this is one they had circled on their calendar, thinking they can play with Devils Lake. But Devils Lake showing a lot of fire here from the Firebirds. Whether it was pass, punt, or kick, whatever you want to watch, they were able to provide it tonight. Not only does PSP bring you this coverage, take a look at our schedule here, brought to you by Bones Barbecue in Minot, North Dakota. Josh, I got to say, I know you live in Bismarck. One of my favorite places to eat in Minot, hands down. I'm a Kansas City barbecue guy. I love the Chiefs. Go to Kansas City quite a bit. Got some family there. But Bones Barbecue Sauce, by far one of the best places I've eaten in North Dakota when it comes to barbecue. So make sure to check them out. You like to golf? Next time you go golf with Holbrook, stop into Bones.
Yeah, I'll have to get up to Minot and go check it out. But it's hard for me not to go to visit the Muellers over at Planet Pizza.
Planet Pizza.
That's my heart, man. Little League basketball. We were Planet Pizza. We were sponsored by those guys.
Really?
So that's at the beginning, yeah. Tony and I. Oh yeah, absolutely.
The Muellers are very good, and they got great customer service. But we're offering 5 games to you tonight here on PSP Network, and the best part of all, they are for free. So make sure you check out Bismarck and Mandan, Minot High and Legacy. Well, let's talk a little scores because you just had Bismarck Mandan pulled up, and what was it 30-7?
I got them right here. So right now Bismarck is up 41-7 on Mandan starting the second half there. Legacy's up on mine at 34-12 with 10 minutes left. Century up big over Williston, 55-0. And then we got...
Any word on Minot North?
Minot North is up big, yeah. 40-0 at the end of the first half at halftime. So, yeah, there's a couple, we got 7-7, Central Cass, Grand Forks, Red River. That one's one to keep an eye on. Those are 2 teams that are towards the top of the leagues, and that's probably going to be a big game for seeding, especially when you come down to the end of the year in the East.
Getting a kick out of some of these Devils Lake Firebirds. They got Cotton Eye Joe playing out here, number 5. He's out there doing a little Cotton Eye Joe himself. Look at those guys. They got some moves, maybe getting ready for prom season out here in Devils Lake. About 30 seconds till second half kickoff. My name is Dallas Sanson, the broadcast booth with Josh Cattell tonight. Thank you for joining us here on PSP Network. We greatly appreciate it. A lot more action coming up here in the second half, and what some call the best game in AA football tonight on Friday night in the state. We shall see. St. Mary's Saints, they're going to kick off. They'll be kicking to the north.
It's going to be important for them to get a stop here.
Yeah.
Start the half. For them to be able to build off a good defensive stop, it's going to be huge.
And we are off and underway. They're going to kick it to Will Heilman. Heilman's going to bring it after the 1-yard line. Ooh, massive hit. Heilman reverses field. Will Heilman's got some space. Brings it out to the 25. He's going to get to the 30. Heilman put on the brakes, Devin Hester style, and then reverse field, and I thought he had some room to roam.
Yeah, that was a nice job there. Initial coverage for St. Mary's was great. They kind of stymied the initial return, and he just puts his foot in the ground and retraces and gets 10 more. Nice return for Heilman.
Take a look at Will Heilman today, one of the standout wide receivers for Devils Lake, a very fun player to watch, but the player we're going to watch right now is number 2. Mason Palmer, the senior, 6 foot, 185, the leader of this offense, can do multiple things, whether it's a quarterback option or toss, or going to be tossing it. And this time he's going to run a little screen, almost picked off. They were looking for Cade Fee that time, and Cade Fee couldn't come up with the fee.
Yeah, just a little too much traffic there where they were trying to develop that screen, and lucky. He's thrown a couple that have been up for grabs,
yeah.
Tipped around and guys getting their hands on it. And, for St. Mary's, that'd be huge to get a turnover. Some way to get the momentum back on your side. And if you're Devils Lake, take care of the ball, be efficient, move the sticks.
I wonder if that wasn't something that head coach Todd Lambrecht just said to Mason, because I saw him put his hands like, hey, calm down a little bit here. It's first play in the second half. Oh, speaking of miscues, it goes over Mason Palmer's head. He gets on it. Oh, still on the ground. Let's see here. I don't think the referee even gave an official.
Yeah, Palmer never had it, but the old lineman hustles. I'm assuming that's the center. Usually he's the first guy. He knows right away when that snap goes wary a little bit, but well, that's a big break for St. Mary's.
Yeah, it's funny because the timing of that, because the head coach of the Firebirds, Lambert, just said, guys, let's calm down. He put his hands like to calm down here. Calm down. We're on the road. The crowd is alive and well. It's a sellout place here at St. Mary's High School. And on plays like this, 3rd and 10, they're going to be alive. Well, it's more than that. 3rd and a country mile here on their own 9-yard line.
Play clock's running down.
It's awfully close. 3, 2, 1. Are they going to get this off? Barely. Palmer back to pass, and it's almost picked off. Nice play by the big man in the middle. I believe that was number 70, Carter McSlitch. 6'1", 260, gets the big hand.
Yeah, nice job there. Good defensive stand. Obviously, a little bit of that was self-induced by Devils Lake, but you're not mad if you're St. Mary's. You'll take it, and now you're going to have a good chance with good field position for your first drive of the second half.
Yeah, so that was 3rd and 32. So now that's 4th and 32.
There's not a lot of good plays in the call sheet for 3rd and 32.
How about a halfback draw?
Draws and screens.
That's true. Mason Palmer's going to back to punt. This one goes kind of off the side of his foot, takes a huge St. Mary's bounce all the way to the 26-yard line. So the Saints are going to have excellent field position starting off this second half.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything more right now if you're the St. Mary's Saints. But now it's time to capitalize. You got an opportunity here to get it to a one-score game. You got to execute. You got to be, everything's got to be going in the right direction.
Speaking of capitalizing, there's somebody that can help you, and they're one of our sponsors. It's BNC National Bank. Your life is busy. We'll make managing your money easy with locations in North Dakota and Arizona. Visit BNC online. That's bnc.bank. 1st and 10 from the 26 for the Saints. Thomas Wilson is going to give it to Beckett Price. Beckett Price goes up the left-hand side, just keeps those legs moving. Will Heilman was in there on the tackle, but if you're a youngster at home, a player to mimic your game off of is number 21 for the Saints, Beckett Price.
Yeah, really impressed with him again this week. And, if you're getting back in this game, you're St. Mary's. He's a guy that's got to be a big, big part of that. And we'll see if he can get loose again this half.
Saints dealing with a 2nd and 6 right now. Already in great position at the 23-yard line. Tommy Wilson going to hand off to the big man, Zach Richter, who's going to rumble and stumble for a few yards. He's going to be short of the first down by 2 yards, but I know you like those plays, Josh.
Yeah, I like getting him the ball and downhill and move the pile and go forward and run right at the defense, and they've been successful with that tonight, and we'll see if they can continue to move the chains here.
I'm sure Coach Schweitzer is pleased with this 3rd and 2, 3rd and manageable, because with his style of offense, you got to have these throughout the football game. And this is a big one, down 14. 9:46 to go here in the third quarter, and they're going to have a couple late substitutions here as Brady Ruggles comes off.
And they got the quarterback, Tommy Anderson, lined up at wide receiver.
We got pistol formation right now, folks.
Direct snap to,
false start. Beckett Price was going to get the football, but another miscue here, and interesting to watch Tommy Wilson go out as a wide receiver.
Yeah, just direct snap to Beckett there and trying to.
I like that play call, though.
Not a bad play call. Unfortunately, the execution was not where you wanted it. And 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. I mean, those ones hurt, but we'll see if they can respond here. Probably 4-down territory, so they're going to have 2 shots to get 7 yards.
3rd and 7 from the 23-yard line. Tommy Wilson, who's thrown in 2 interceptions and 1 touchdown tonight. You don't even want to call that last one he threw an interception. It was kind of just a Hail Mary at the end. Wilson back to pass. Going to go deep, looking, it's picked off. Beautiful play, beautiful read by Dronan Levitt. Dronan Levitt's now heading the other way, 25-30, pointing. I need a block, fellas. Give me a block. But he's upended at the 35-yard line. But how about the defensive stand from these Devil's Lake Firebirds?
Yeah, good play there. Just need a little more air. Again, a little long developing route, and just didn't have the ability to step into his throw with the pressure from Devil's Lake there. And there you go. Devil's Lake gets it right back.
I've been very, very, very impressed by the senior Kobe Dronan Levitt, 5'11", 165. He's an excellent kick return specialist and now making his mark defensively at cornerback. Firebirds now with a fresh set on a new possession. They're going to hand off to the big man who's been doing a lot of work tonight. It's Briar Exner. Exner's off to the races. Look at this man go. He's a man amongst boys. Brings it out to the 43. Exner being the X factor.
Yeah, good run there. And, with an offense like Devil's Lake, you just can't keep giving them more opportunities. And unfortunately, right now, St. Mary's has got their backs against the wall a little bit here and needs to find a way to get a stop.
8:48 counting here in the third quarter. If you're a Saints fan, you got to be hoping for a defensive stand. 14's doable. I don't know about 21.
Yeah, especially with I don't think Devil's Lake's going to stop scoring. They're very, very well coached and a lot of talent on the side of the ball. So you got to match them.
Palmer, he's going to hand off again to Exner. Exner's going to be stopped this time. Whoa, a little extracurricular activity, but then some good sportsmanship as Zach Long was right there in the tackle, along with one of their better players, I will say, defensively, Jackson Barth. He plays that DN position. He does a good job with contain with some of these fast players.
You watch all this St. Mary's defense. They're really disciplined. They understand the scheme. They understand their job within the scheme, and he's just one of those that we keep highlighting.
2nd and 9 from the 43. This time, Palmer's going to pass. It's going to be out. What a nice hit by a few Saints, but it was Weston Nelson, who caught the football.
Cale Burns with the tackle initially.
I mean, he met him right away and just let him know. Boom.
Yeah, nice job of not letting that thing get any farther downfield than it needed to and make them have to earn the first down.
That instant replay is brought to you by Ryan Family Dealership. They are one of the best in the state. They got 5 locations in Minot and Williston. Make sure to check them out online. It's driveryan.com. They've been around for 50 years. It's a big one. 3rd and 6. Saint fans starting to make some noise here. Back to pass is Mason Palmer. He's looking deep. Deep he will go. Weston Nelson off of a Saints helmet. Oh boy, we might have a pass interference call. Time will tell.
Yeah, I just don't think he ever played the ball. He never turned his head around and might have been a little early with the contact.
He was actually looking for Max Palmer. My apologies. It's
on the defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So it will be pass interference on the defense. They're going to get cornerback Reeve Honeyman on the call there. That's killer.
Yeah, he got beat, and, it is and it isn't. Sometimes, 15 yards is better than a touchdown. So
yeah.
You take the penalty and you regroup and try to get off the field again here. But, he got beat off the line and just sprinted to try to make a play and was just a little early.
That it could be a heads-up play there by Reeve if he was getting beat that bad. Just grab him. He'd, like you said, rather take a penalty than 6 points. No matter which way you cut it, it's first down for the Firebirds. Palmer sends Heilman in motion. Palmer this time not going to find Max Palmer. The clock will stop, 7:03, 2nd and 10 now for the Firebirds.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there, or just the timing was thrown off for whatever reason, but nothing hurt. Now you got 2nd and 10.
So the Firebirds, who are going to be a team to deal with coming down the way here, their first and only loss was the first game of the season against Kindred. And then they've went on a little bit of a streak here, and we talk a lot about what they've done as a program and what they will continue to do. And some of these key pieces like Mason Palmer, if he stays healthy, they're going to have a shot all the way till the end.
Yeah, just this offense is always going to give you a chance in every game you play. So, they're an intriguing team to watch as the season goes on.
Exner on the carry that time. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage to make it 3rd and 10. So another big 3rd down here. This Saints defense and the bend don't break mentality starting to work here, but you got to be watching the clock. 6:43 and counting. Devils Lake taking their time.
Yeah, they're in no hurry. They're just going to get in and out of the huddle, execute your offense, keep trying to put points on the board. Go back to that bunch formation here.
Football's on the 25-yard line. Big play. Palmer.
Running back out to the flat again.
They're getting it to Exner, and Exner will get it. Nice move by Breyer. He's going to bring it out to the 8-yard line, so they go to 2-4 when they need a play.
Yeah, same thing they did in the first half there. And the corner was there this time. He stayed home, but just a little too much to bring down there as Exner does a good job after the catch.
Like you said, he just leaks out, and they forget about him.
Yeah, they got the 3 guys right there, so it takes your eyes as they go across the formation, and then he slips out. And, there's a lot of stuff going on there.
1st and 9 now from the 9. 1st and goal, actually, excuse me. This time it's going to be a quarterback draw. Mason Palmer, he's going to try to get in, and he will. 6 for the big man, Mason Palmer.
Yeah, another nice job there by Palmer, but Breyer Exner, those are the 2 names we've been saying a lot tonight. He leads the way and leads them into the end zone with a good block. And, again, good execution by the Firebirds all the way down the field.
Mason Palmer in the Serve Pro red zone tonight has been absolutely phenomenal. He's one of those guys where he can throw the ball on the run, but he can also keep it on those quarterback draws, and that playbook has got his name written all over it. And now he's going to kick the extra point. The hold is up. The kick is up, and it is good. So that makes our score 35-14. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back with more football here from St. Mary's High School.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Estvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Estvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Welcome back to PSP Network. We want to thank a few of the people that made tonight possible. One of them, First International Bank and Trust. They are a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between our employees and customers. Founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural and urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online at FIBT.com. Also want to thank ServPro 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's ServPro. Saints are going to bring it out to the 40-yard line after yet another squib kick, which I get 1,000%. Josh, as I'm sure you do as well, trying to keep it away from Beckett Price.
Yeah, if you're Devils Lake right now, that's the one guy you got to know where he's at. Like, let's make sure he doesn't beat us here. We got a good lead. Second half, we got to contain him, and we're going to have a good chance to go home with a victory.
He's a player that I like to call a one-play kid, where he has one play and it could change the football game.
Without
one
a doubt.
play.
Without a doubt, he's a guy that can change the momentum and change the game real quick.
Off an interception, it's going to be Tommy Wilson back under center. Dotting the I is going to be Beckett Price. Tommy Wilson, he's played good tonight, just had a couple bad plays, and unfortunately that shows up pretty big in the stat mark. This time looking for Ruggles on the curl. Ruggles can't hold on to that football. That's twice that Wilson's put it on the nose, and they haven't been able to catch it.
Yeah, nice job there. Again, quick game, get the ball out of his hands quick, throw it to your athletes in space. You just got to catch the ball and make the play.
It's a good route. Everything's great. And it was just also a good defensive play by Dronan Levitt, who we've said a lot about tonight. 5:51 to go here in the third quarter. Ball's on the 40-yard line, 2nd and 10 for St. Mary's. I formation again from St. Mary's. This time they're going to put Barf in motion. Hand it off to Beckett Price. Beckett Price makes a couple miss initially, but then he's going to be tackled there by Grady Quam. Quam is just a sophomore and a nice player.
Yeah, nice job there. I mean, that thing was dead to rights in the backfield. Beckett makes a nice cut and gains, a positive 4 yards, and you give yourself a chance third down. I'd imagine it's 4-down territory from here on out if you're St. Mary's, unless it's 4th and a mile. I mean, I think you got to go for it. You got to score points. It's the only way you're getting back in this one.
Well, if you're a Devils Lake Firebirds fan, you got to be pleased with the offense. I mean, we were talking about off air how great they've looked, but one thing that might help them get to that championship caliber team is going to be the defense.
Yeah, without a doubt, and obviously this is a one game here where we're seeing a lot of man, and they're making St. Mary's throw. It might be a game plan thing there, but they give up the 2 big plays because of the defense. Not the guys, but just the scheme they're in, right? The risk reward, and now with a 3-score lead, you're seeing a lot more zone coverage, a lot of more big zone eyes to the quarterback, keeping things in front of you. I would imagine we'll see a handful of that as the game continues.
That last play, Thomas Wilson throws an incomplete pass intended for Jake Miller. 4th and 6. And we're going to have a timeout here on the field. We'll take time as well. St. Mary's wants to talk this one over. It's a big one. 4th down and 6. When we come back, we'll see what St. Mary's has in their back pocket.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Well, it's 4th and 6. They're playing Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I won't back down, and that's what St. Mary's apparently is planning to do. Is they're not going to back down. They are down though, 35-14, but they've already completed 1 4th down fake punt, if you will, by Beckett Price. Beckett Price is the punter most of the time, so it doesn't look like a fake here. They might actually be punting.
Just need to get enough guys on the field right now, and there we go.
That would help. So 5:02 to go. Price is going to put all of his leg into this one. Deep, booming kick. And they fumbled the football. That one's live. Able to pick it up was Heilman. Heilman makes one man miss, brings it out to the 21-yard line. Interesting there, and some of the fans starting to get into it at St. Mary's here.
Yeah, just about, we talked about it. They've had some big special teams play, and, maybe that's some of the things that can help them get back into this thing. But right now, the main priority for the Saints to get back in is you got to find a way to stop this Devils Lake offense.
So the Firebirds with the football and with a commanding lead, 4:51 to go here. They're going to start out at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Mason Palmer in shotgun. Palmer going to hand off to who other than Briar Exner. Exner bringing it out to the 29-yard line. Almost gets a first down. He's going to be a little short. Actually, they might give it to him.
Yeah, it looks like a first down. Good run on first down here. And there's so many weapons to defend on this Devils Lake offense right now. And you pick your poison a little bit. And unfortunately, when you gear up to defend the pass, you're a little lighter in the box, and they're taking advantage of it.
You know, I know we talk a lot about Exner and also Mason Palmer, but how about this offensive line for Devils Lake doing everything and more?
Yeah, they've been very impressive tonight. Big 72 out there. He's had a couple key blocks. Grayson Asselson.
We're going to have a false start here on Devils Lake. False start will go against wide receiver Max Palmer. That's one thing we've seen a lot this year, Josh, is wide receivers who, when I played, I was taught to watch the football. Don't even listen to the count. Just watch the football. When the football goes, you go. But we've seen a lot of wide receivers this year false start.
Yeah, it's just got to hold your water. You got to be disciplined, and I would imagine watching the ball would probably be the best way to do that.
They're going to give it back to Exner this time. Exner's got some space and a lot of grass. Briar Exner, it's his world. We're just living in it. Exner with a stiff arm 40, 35, 30. This kid's unbelievable. Out to the 20-yard line. Briar Exner, oh my.
Yeah, he gets moving, and he is a big body downhill runner, and it's just when he gets through that first initial D-line, the box, he gets into that secondary, and he looks like a really big man compared to those DBs.
How about the stiff arm?
Even the finish of the run, he finishes it going forward with two guys hanging on him. Very impressive tonight out of that young man.
You know, it is October, spooky season. That stiff arm might give a few defenders nightmares. Palmer's going to hand off to Briar again. This time he's going to be gobbled up by a few Saints. One of them was Zach Richter in on the tackle. So 2nd down and 10. 3:35 to go and counting. They're at the 18, so they're right in striking distance. They're in the Serve Pro red zone.
Again, like you said, though, they're just not in a hurry. They got the control of this thing, and you know they're going to run it. I'm guessing we're going to see a heavy dose of Exner to finish this game out, but we'll see what they do here on 2nd and long.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see another slant. Big fan of the slants. The Firebirds are. We will see. It's going to be twins left, single to the right. Man in motion is Exner. This time Palmer's going to keep it, throws it over to Exner on a little kind of outside route.
Little swing pass there. Nice job by Palmer not forcing it to the concept downfield, just taking his check down, taking what the defense gives him. And, I mean, that's not a bad option when you can throw it out to Exner at the line of scrimmage and he can bowl around for 5 yards.
You know, you can tell a difference between a good quarterback and a great quarterback by how their feet are, specifically when they throw the football. And every time Palmer's that lead foot is just pointed towards the north or south, and his feet are always set, always moving. It's just fun to watch a kid like this.
Yeah, you see a lot of kids get lazy there, and their eyes are downfield, and they never get their feet to the throw. And, yeah, he's been pretty impressive.
Heilman goes in motion. Palmer back to pass. Mason, he's going to go in the middle, and it's a touchdown to Max Palmer. Palmer to Palmer. Palmer squared.
Yeah, they kind of gave St. Mary's a little bit of their medicine there. They went single receiver to the field, got him in the one-on-one in space, and Palmer does a good job. Good job by the O-line, good protection, has all day to throw back there, and one-on-one with a lot of field. That's good. That's just good throw and catch.
How about Max Palmer with the lime green gloves tonight? Can't miss him.
Lime greens. I don't know that's in the school colors, but can't miss them.
You got lime green cleats out there, lime green gloves. Everything's green. 42-14 now, 2:53 to go in the third quarter. Firebirds starting to pull away here a little bit. We'll be back with St. Mary's Saints have a chance to dig into this lead.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shaw's Crossroads Fuel to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a fuel tracker card from any of our C-store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the fuel tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shaw's Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shots Crossroads.
We are back here from St. Mary's High School. Beautiful night for the game of football. So far tonight, Devils Lake trying to improve to 5-1 and well on their way so far. 42-14 against St. Mary's. Another squib kick here. Saints are going to pick it up, but he's immediately hit. Nice job by the special teams at Devils Lake to recover rather quickly.
Yeah, good job there. And you know, if you're St. Mary's right here, you got to find a way to just build, do something, you know, do some good to build on. I mean, obviously we're getting to the point where this is getting a little bit out of reach. Obviously it's not, but you just got to put some positives and stack them and stack them and stack them, and hopefully good things happen and you can build off of it moving forward.
So Saints offense, who's done some good things and done some not so good things tonight, take the field. Ruggles, wide receiver that they've really liked so far, but Beckett Price, he's going to go for a gain of 3. It's a good job there by Beckett. And
yeah, big 74 gets in the backfield there. Who's that? That looks like Isaac Woodall for Devils Lake.
A few plays tonight.
Yeah, good player there, and gets first contact in the backfield, makes it hard to run the ball, and we'll see what St. Mary's tries here on 2nd and long.
Tonight's scoreboard is brought to you by BNC National Bank with locations throughout North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona. BNC National Bank provides you with banking and wealth management services for your business and family. Visit BNC Bank online today. That's bnc.bank. 206 and counting, 2nd and 8 from the 39. Saints will deal. This time it's going to be a reverse pass. Struggles to get it out, and that'll go down as a loss again, but you can't blame the Saints kind of going deep in the playbook here, trying a little magic.
Yeah, just unfortunately, I kind of saw they snuck this new receiver in, and backup quarterback, and all right, we're gonna try a little reverse here, and there's just too much penetration. Devils Lake's in the backfield, and they're playing with their hair on fire a little bit here, going downhill right at you.
Yeah, Woodhull was in there as well as a few others. Grady Quam, number 55. I'll take a look as
we got confusion here. They're trying to
trips right this time. Beckett Price in the slot position. Wilson looking. Oh, what a nice catch there. Beautiful catch by Brady Ruggles. All hands, no chest.
Yeah, nice job there. Good throw, good catch, and give yourself a chance. We'll see what they do here on 4th down.
Well, it's a big one. 1 minute left here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I think the decision's kind of made for you. You know, here comes 15. He took his gloves off for the reverse pass. Now he's got gloves on again.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. We're talking about Jacoby Grimm, backup quarterback, who now finds himself as a wide receiver. Wilson back to pass. He's going to go in the middle, and that's going to be picked off. Picked off again by Will Heilman. Heilman's got some space. He could go for 6. Will the thrill. Here he goes. Heilman, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Firebirds. They're on fire from Devils Lake. Oh, my.
Oh, wow, what a play. What a return. I think, you know, the interception itself kind of happened naturally, but the return was very impressive, and he wiggles his way through and finds 6.
Will Heilman putting on the skates on these defenders, and that will have our clock run. So we're going to come to the end of the 3rd quarter. They're still going to kick the extra point, 48-14. The Firebirds, this was a close game.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it was 14-14. I think there was 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter, and Devils Lake ended up scoring twice before half. And
the extra point is blocked. So good job there by the St. Mary's defense. Something good happens for them in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a look on our Ryan Family Dealership about this blocked extra point. Palmer can't get it to go through.
It's about the only thing he hasn't been able to do tonight.
Yeah. There we see the block. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, 4th quarter action here from St. Mary's.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride.
We are back for more fourth quarter action here from PSP Network. If you just now join us, it was Will the Thrill, Will Heilman with the pick six, an excellent move to get his Firebirds up 48-14. But it wasn't just Heilman who's helped out. It's been a plethora of Firebirds that have done a great job tonight. Briar Exner, Weston Nelson, Max Palmer, Mason Palmer, Dronen Levitz. This Devils Lake team is full of playmakers. And a lot of fun to watch if you get a chance to watch them play football this year.
Yeah, you mentioned it a couple drives ago, the O-line. You know, you get caught up with the plethora of athletes, the wide receivers, the DBs, the quarterback, the running back. All these guys are making all these plays, and then
Dominic Zander on the return making a nice play as you were talking there,
and
Josh.
then the O-line, D-line, you know. But, yeah, Zander's a good player. He shows up a ton on the defensive side of the ball as far as film goes, and yeah, good return there.
So it's going to be Saints football, and trying not to fall to 1-5 here on the season. Got some work to do with 11:51 to go here in the football game. Don't forget, after the game, we're going to have our Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads post-game show, and our Player of the Game brought to you by Sports Clips, and our Move of the Game by Spas Etc. We'll have interviews from the winning coach and also our Player of the Game, Beckett Price. Not giving up, and you know, everybody knows Beckett Price is a playmaker, but we've seen back-to-back games now where they've been down in the fourth, and the kid just does not have any quit in him.
No, he doesn't. He's been very impressive. And then this whole squad. I mean, last week I thought St. Mary's second half, they looked like a completely different football team. Tonight, not going their way, and it's been a tough challenge, but you don't see a lack of effort. You don't see a lack of anything right now except for just, you know, maybe the ball's not bouncing their way.
So the clock will run no matter what with this amount of a lead. We got Wilson under pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Devils Lake is a sack attack tonight. What a job there by Jackson Strong, 6'1", 170-pound linebacker coming in there with his hair on fire. We got penalties.
Yeah, I think it was just a good job with the coverage downfield. He had nowhere to throw the ball. And
on the offense, number 76. The penalty is declined. Play brings up third down.
It's kind of an insult to injury. They get a holding call with the clock, or with the sack. I don't know if St. Mary's knows the clock should be running. The ref, Whitecap, does a signal for it to keep going here. 48-14, ball's on the 29, 3rd and 15 here for the Saints. Twins left and twins right for Tommy Wilson. Man in motion is Brooks Armstrong. He's going to stop at the slot out spot. Wilson's going to pass, trying to go deep. It's completed. Nice play by Peyton Coppy. Coppy brings it out to the 46-yard line. Peyton's done this a few times tonight.
Yeah, good throw and catch there, and positive play. And you just got to, like I said earlier, you got to stack them up, and you got to try to find something to take away from this game that's going to be some positive.
Coppy, who caught the early on touchdown, trying to keep his Saints alive here, 10-20 and counting. Wilson will run in the play to the huddle. It was about this time last week when we saw the huge play by Beckett Price. It was one of our plays of the week here at PSP Network. Don't forget to vote on our Facebook page for our Player of the Week, brought to you by Velva Aggie Foundation. Wilson, nice completion out to Jacoby Grimm. Grimm's going to pick up a first down and more, and now you're seeing the passing attack from the Saints starting to come alive.
Yeah, good throw there, accurate ball, nice protection by the O-line, and some positives here. Moving the chains, always a good sign, right?
Always a good sign, but if you're a Saints fan, that clock continues to tick no matter first down or whatever the case might be. They have the football on the 29-yard line, so definitely some room to run here a little bit. 1st and 10. We're going to have twins left and twins right again In the backfield with Wilson is Beckett Price. Wilson's going to hand off this time to Beckett Price. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah,
Nowhere to go.
A lot of white jerseys in the backfield there. There was no room to run.
Take a look at our Ryan Family Dealership Instant Replay. Appreciate them sponsoring that. The commitment and respect for their customers is as strong today as it was 50 years ago. Experience the difference when you visit one of their 5 locations in Minot and Williston, North Dakota, or shop online at driveryan.com. Saints have it on the 32-yard line, 2nd and 12 now. Tommy Wilson back, looking. He's going to go deep. It's going to be to Ruggles. Ruggles can't come up with it. Good defense there by Dronan Levitt, the cornerback, who was right on him.
Yeah, just a tough throw and catch there. Long throw there to the field. And, again, pressure in his face as the D-line for Devils Lake is they're not quitting either as far as that goes.
Yeah, Carter Ironheart has been in there quite a bit. And, you know, the kid I've been impressed with is the sophomore, Grady Quam. He's done a lot of nice things today. He's just a sophomore, big number 55. So even though it was an incompletion, the clock continues to run. Wilson, he's going to go deep this time. Dronan Levitt's in the area, and it'll be incomplete. Brings up 4th and 12.
Yeah, Devils Lake's just doing a good job. Defensively, they know it's passing, it's keeping them in front of you, it's getting your eyes to the football, and yeah, doing what they're supposed to do with the lead, right? That's sometimes you take it for granted, but that's a sign of a good football team that knows how to play with the lead as well.
So if Devils Lake hangs on here, they might be receiving some votes, but some scores to report, courtesy of ND Score Feed, is number 3, Grand Forks Central, 49-14 against Wahpeton. That one's final. Devils Lake right here, 48-14. They're ranked number 4, excuse me. Now it's going to be back to pass. Incompletion, almost picked off there. Beautiful defense. How about Central Cross and Grand Forks Red River tied at 10 apiece, 6 minutes left in the third. Dickinson and Jamestown, our PSP crew is out there. Owen Patterson on the call, 35-24. Number 1, Minot North over Watford City. They get the shutout in Watford, 43-0. Right now, Kindred up big against Fargo South. 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's 29-3, and that's your scores around AA football.
Yeah, that Minot North team is just continually to do what they're supposed to do, right? You're the number 1 team in the state, and you show up and you take care of business, and that's the sign. And it'll be interesting as this thing goes. I'm interested to watch them versus Devils Lake when that game comes up. That's going to be, that'll be a good challenge for both teams. Can Devils Lake stop Minot North, and can Minot North stop this offensive attack?
Some substitutions coming to the football game right now. That's a handoff goes to Egan Leidy. So good job there by Egan, who was getting some time. How about this in AAA? Number 2, Fargo Davies right now is beating number 1, Shanley, 35-14. 5 minutes left in the fourth. Big upset.
Yeah, Davies is kind of one of those teams, like they're very physical and they can beat you up, but they've had a couple hiccups throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
Shanley has had some games where they've just executed at a high level and they throw the ball all over the yard and do all that. They've also had a couple letdowns as well, so it's that AAA is going to be fun to watch as this year goes on.
Yeah, you get the feeling it's extremely, extremely tight this year.
Yeah, and then just all the East versus West, I think the playoffs are going to be unbelievable.
Well, in the West right now, Bismarck 41 over Mandans 13. 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Bismarck Century picking up a big win against Williston, 62-7. And then it was West Fargo Horace, who's ranked number 3 over West Fargo, 27-14. And then Bismarck Legacy, which we had here on PSP Network, they get the win over Minot High, 41-12. I can't remember the last time Minot High football was 0-5. Hopefully they'll turn the ship around here.
Yeah, Coach Hendershot's going to do a good job.
I'm a big fan of Chauncey.
Yeah,
I like him.
He does a great job. He'll get them back and going. There's a little bit of a transition, right? New schools. Yeah. It's a little bit divided, a little different landscape in Minot than it's been in the past, and they'll figure out a way. You know, we looked at that a couple of years ago when Bismarck High didn't win a game. I mean, Coach Gibson's, he didn't forget how to coach football. He's still, a really, really good football coach. Sometimes you just, however the classes work out and what you're playing, injuries, all the things that go into it. And now look at them. They're right back on top 2 years later. So it happens. It's cyclical. They're still 15 to 18-year-olds, you know. They're unpredictable.
We had Coach Hendershot on our PSP primetime show before the football season started, and it was like when he listened, when he talked, you just listened. He's such a football mind and well-spoken individual and just can inspire just about anybody. So
yeah, real passionate about the game. Knows what he's doing. He'll get that ship corrected here in short order, I would imagine.
It's going to be second down and short right now for Devils Lake. They're starting to sub in quite a few. Head coach Tom Lambrecht has got to be happy with his guys making the trip down here to St. Mary's and Bismarck and taking care of business here.
Yeah, road games are never easy. Doesn't matter who you're playing. You got to show it. You got to get off the bus and be ready to do what you're supposed to, and tip of your cap to them tonight because they did.
Mason Palmer still in there at quarterback. He's inside. Alongside of him is Egan Likely. Likely this time is going to get the run, and look at him go. How about the play here from Egan Lighty, the sophomore, 6'1", 175 pounds.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of him throughout this game, but it looks like they got a good option as a backup running back, and
that kid
good
runs hard
physical run. And there's looks like Palmer's coming out of the game now as well.
Boy, is he cheering on his sub. Talon Gregory's going to come into the football game here, and Mason Palmer a little pep talk as he's walking off.
Yeah, good senior leader. Probably wants to make sure that the objective stays the objective. We want to take care of the football and finish this thing the right way.
We got about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Stick around for our interviews with the winning head coach and our Sports Scripts player of the game, with our Shots Crossroads and Plan Team Financial Advisors postgame show. How about the run here by the youngster, Egan Lighty? Lighty's going to go all the way down to the 6-yard line. Beautiful play.
Yeah, nice job. Good hard run by the young man, and always nice when the young guys get in and get under the lights, and their adrenaline's up. You know, they like to show what they can do as well, so nice job by 28 there.
You know, Lighty's got some wheels on him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much of a drop-off as far as speed goes when he gets out there.
We got a vote partner on our Sports Clips MVP. We got to make sure the public sticks around for that. There's a lot of options.
I got mine picked in my head.
I got mine too. I think
there's one guy that was kind of stood out above the rest, but we're gonna leave that. That's a hanger.
Yep.
Got to leave them hanging so they stick around.
Cliffhanger. They're gonna give it back to Lighty. He's gonna get it to the 2-yard line. Quarterback Talon Gregory, a junior, 6'1", 190 pounds, also plays safety. Watching him in warm-ups, I almost thought he might be the starter the way he was looking and throwing the football as a big kid. But he's got a man in front of him, Mason Palmer, who's going to have a few options next year as he's going to graduate high school to play collegiately. It'll be fun to watch him at the next level if he does choose so.
Yeah, he's also got baseball as an option too.
Yeah.
I know.
2 minutes left here. Firebirds knocking on the door again. Lighty in the backfield. They're going to give it to him. Lighty's going to bounce around, tries to get it back out, and he's going to be tackled for a loss of 2 on the play. Flag on the play.
5 guys in the backfield.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay second up.
Good call, partner. Look at you go, man. That's awesome. You're right on there.
Seen it enough. I was talking with Joe the other day. We're watching the Bison game, and they come out in this formation, and he's coaching 3rd and 4th grade football now, so he's locked into formations, and he's like, well, how come? How do they get to do that? Why do they get to do that? You know, so I had to do a little educating there as well. It was kind of fun. So, yeah, formations are important.
They are, and they can be confusing sometimes, especially some of these cats. It's their first time into a varsity football game. They're going to give it to Lighty here, who's got a heavy dose. Lighty's going to try to get in. Does Lighty get it? He will. So the sophomore, who looked good, Lighty, is able to score for 6 to make it 54-14.
Yeah, nice job. Good drive there. Good way to finish the game out. And you got to be pretty happy for Devils Lake getting on that bus going home tonight.
Yeah, it's going to make the trip home a lot easier. 1 minute to go and counting. Firebirds with the extra point. Mason Palmer comes in to do the duties. Holds good. Kick is up, and it is barely good.
Another point on his point total for the evening and year.
It's been quite a few. Don't forget, we're going to go down there and talk to the winning coach and also our Sports Coast player of the game. We got to talk about a little bit. Make sure if you're listening and you want to know what's PSP got going on next, we'll check out our website. That's psp.network. Right there, we've got all our schedule of events, volleyball, soccer, football every Friday. 5 games, and the best point, everybody, it's for free, but wouldn't be possible without everybody that watches, tunes in, and it's kind of fun when you pull up to a game. I got here around 3 o'clock and setting up, and people start shuffling around 4:30, setting their seats down to get a good seat, and it's always nice to hear somebody come up and say, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
it makes it all worth it.
Yeah, this whole PSP stuff is just continuing to get bigger and better, and you just look at John Haugen's equipment down there. I mean, he was started with an iPhone. I think the first game he videotaped, it was just one camera, and now we got all sorts of buttons, and he stays busy during the game, that's for sure.
The guy's the Ben Franklin of PSP. He's always inventing new ways to make sure the game that comes to you at your home is bigger and better than ever. He's telling me about a double instant replay option that we might have coming down the way, so that would be really unique. St. Mary's now with football. They bring it out to the 35, and that will just about do it here. 39 seconds to go, so the Firebirds, their win streak will continue to 5. The Saints are going to drop another one here. The first half, if you would have told me this would have been the final score, I would have said no way. It was tight.
I would have expected the amount of points, but maybe not this separation between the two teams.
New quarterback coming into the game for the Saints. That is Jake Miller, the sophomore. So Miller going to get some time here. Last 30 seconds and counting. You're going to hand the football off right up the middle. That was Noah Schmidt. And that will be, I would say, probably the last play of the football game unless the Saints want to rush up.
Yeah, they might try to get these young guys one more play before the game ends.
Well, what a job by the Devils Lake Firebirds. Coach Lambert's got to be happy as they will improve to 5-1 on the season here. One more handoff, and that is ball game. A final from St. Mary's. Firebirds 55, Saints 14. We'll be back with our Plan Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads postgame show.
Can you remember the last time you were certain that your bank had your back or would go the extra mile to give you the service and attention you need? Partnering with the right community bank can make all the difference. We like to think of a community bank as one that supports its local community. You need to know that whatever your financial future holds, your bank will be there to provide practical support. As a community bank, BNC National Bank will be there for whatever you need in the long haul. Reach out to our team today to learn more about how we're able to help you succeed. Member FDIC.
You've worked hard, saved well, and invested wisely. Whether it's paying for a child's education, taking the family trip you've dreamed of, giving back to the community, or funding a confident retirement, we can help you reach your goals. We are passionate about helping you make smart decisions about your spending and saving so you can feel confident about the future while enjoying life today. Together, we can design a personalized plan that takes into account your short and long-term needs and wants, but is flexible enough to adjust as your life changes.
In times of loss, ServPro brings hope. With expertise in Minot and Bismarck, we don't just restore homes, we rebuild lives.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clamine, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clamine, and McBride.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak, or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
When facing disaster, it's...
Hey, I'm back down here, Coach. What a win. You travel down here from Devils Lake. This has got to feel good. It was like a total team effort. Offense did good. Defense played well. You really shut them down, and you showed out.
Yeah, we had a game plan coming in, and we stuck to it, and it worked out really well for us. So, a lot of our guys were just in the right place at the right time. Started doing little things right that we've been practicing on all week, and it showed.
What do you think of Mason Palmer? I mean, outstanding quarterback, leads the team, and what I liked about him was when you subbed him out at the end of the game, he looked at the back and he said, "Let's go, job's not done." Exciting to see.
Yeah, he's a leader, and he loves the energy, he loves the pep, and we get on these road games, and we have a few fans, and I wish we could have more, but it is what it is. But our sidelines has to make as much noise as we can, and he thrives off that. And our guys really, that energy really flows out in the field.
Your first game against Kindred didn't go how you wanted it to, but now you're on a win streak. How big of that is it for you and your team?
Oh, it's always huge when you get that momentum going. It's little things are clicking in that, and it's one of those. It's something that you can keep thriving on and keep going for. But we always have to be humble in the fact is that we make mistakes, and we have to keep practicing to get better.
Well, next week, Minot North beat Watford City tonight. That brings up a heck of a matchup next week. You guys in Minot North, number 1. What's going to be your thoughts going to that football game?
We just got to prepare like we do for a normal game, and it's one of those things we see what they have, and we scheme it up and just go play some football. It's going to be exciting.
Well, it's been an honor to have you here on PSP Network. Appreciate your time, Coach. We're bringing our Sports Clips player of the game. Don't hurt me here, big guy. Jeez Louise. Briar, how big of an impact does it have to have a quarterback, but also like a good group of wide receivers? So as a running back, you can kind of pick and choose.
Yeah, so having Mason in our wide receiver core makes it so much easier because I can't just fill the box. I mean, if they do it, Mason's going to throw right over, and that's nice about our team. We're so balanced everywhere. Offensively, we're doing great, and defensively, we just got to keep going.
How big is it to have a team with some talent like this where you come on a big road game and you get a big road win against the St. Mary's team who was kind of playing fearless in the first half?
I mean, it's big. Going into next week, playing Minot North, we got to keep this momentum up and keep it rolling in a big game. I mean, practice is a little iffy, but we got to keep this rolling and bring high energy next week.
Well, you're a senior. This is your last dance. How does it feel to have this team back on the winning track with your fellow teammates to keep this going?
It feels great. It's exactly what we've envisioned in the off-season, so it feels great. I mean, couldn't ask for anything else.
Well, you're a heck of a football player, buddy. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys in the booth.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair. Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Poise. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a Sport Clips stylist.
Here. That's the spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Welcome back to your Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads post-game show. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm and business success, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit us online today at planningteam.com. Planning Team Financial Advisors, helping clients work toward financial freedom. And how about Shots Crossroads, your post-game headquarters? Order online today at shotscrossroads.com. Shots Crossroads, get filled up on their delicious menu that includes the famous number 99. Order online today at shotscrossroads.com. My favorite part about this read, team buses are always welcome. So if you're ever in Minot, check out Shots Crossroads. Let's talk a little bit here before we get to our player of the game and the move of the game. First half, it was tight. We were both thinking, okay, this is going to be a good game, 28-14. And then it was kind of the Devil's Lake show defensively. They got a few interceptions, but you also saw their running game improve greatly, and then you saw the wide receivers really come alive.
Yeah, they're just it's a lot of athletes and a well-run machine on offense for Devil's Lake. And I think you got the feel early in this game that you're going to have to score points because this thing is going to be a shootout because they're hard to defend. They're hard to stop, and they continued to score, and unfortunately for St. Mary's, they just ran out of steam and ran out of bullets, I guess.
Well, as Max Palmer, Weston Nelson, Will Heilman, Cade Fee had the great play where he was kind of two offensive players were in the same position, if you will. One was on a post and one was on a fade, and they just ran into each other, and Cade Fee came up with it. So it was just those types of plays where Devil's Lake made them. And then if you look at St. Mary's a couple times in the first half, they had a pick six waiting for them and just went through their hands. Yeah,
they didn't. They weren't able to, get the interception or the big play defensively, the turnover. And you go the other way, Devil's Lake, they have 3 interceptions?
Yeah.
All those went the wrong way for St. Mary's again this week, and that's hard to do against a good team. You can't give away the ball.
Well, our final tonight was Devil's Lake 55, St. Mary's 14. Let's move on to our player of the game, brought to you by Sports Clips. Whether you're looking for a haircut or you're just looking to get treated well, Sports Clips is the place to go. They bring you the MVP of this matchup. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is quite like the MVP treatment that Sports Clips can bring to you. Experience that and more at Sports Clips. Tonight's Sports Clips game MVP is...
That'd be Briar Exner. Heard from him down there a little bit. Did it all tonight. I mean, honestly, He starts with the kickoff. He starts the game. Like, he can do it all, right? And then he rushes all over tonight. A couple rushing touchdowns, a couple pass catching, a ton of yards. I mean, I bet he was over 200 yards of offense tonight on his own, and found the end zone a few times. we run the quarterback draw in the third quarter.
Yeah.
He's the lead blocker on there. A guy showed up all night, and then defense, he kind of gets overshadowed by his performance on offense, but he's out there on defense and did a great job there as well. So Briar Exner is our player of the game.
You know what I liked about Briar down there talking to him? He goes, Dallas, we wanted in the offseason to be in a position like this to play a team like Minot North. And that means a lot.
Yeah, the guys who had been there before, had a little success, seen it, and wanted it back. That's, it's not just given to you. It's not guaranteed because you're a senior. You got to go work in the offseason for it, and they look like they've put in a ton of work to get to where they're at right now.
Well, the Firebird fans are really, really excited tonight. After I did those interviews, I was walking off the field. I said, how about those Firebirds? And it felt like I was an AC/DC concert the way they yelled. So quick shout out to the fans that did travel here to St. Mary's. Move on now to our Spas Etc. move of the game. There was a lot of them tonight. But make sure you check out Spas Etc. It's time to bring a spa to your home. Stop in at Spas Etc. and you will find a massive inventory, and I mean a lot, and a next-level sales team that can help you find the perfect spa, sauna, or game for your rec room. It's Spas Etc. Spas Etc.'s move of the game is?
I think that's got to go to Will Heilman on the pick six, man. The interception wasn't the most fanciest or toughest of plays, but the run after the catch, he sliced through the defense, worked his way all the way to the end zone, and kind of put the nail in the coffin tonight.
Well, that's going to bring up a heck of a game next year. Number 1 North, they beat Watford tonight. Who knows where Devils Lake will be ranked after tonight. They were at 4, I believe, so will they climb up a little bit? I'm guessing yes. But we have a big one, a top 5 for sure matchup. Minot North versus Devils Lake. What a game that'll be.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a great test for these two teams to see, where they match up in the West. And honestly, it's going to probably show, have big playoff implications at the result of that game.
Well, we want to thank everybody here for tuning in to PSP Network. My name is Dallas Sanson alongside Josh Cattell. Thanks for being here tonight, buddy.
A lot of fun. Here we go.
Yeah,
we're doing it again. Let's go.
We're kind of creating a rhythm here in the booth.
Absolutely. The A-team.
The A-team, baby. Throw us a few good games here, and we'll be right there in the thick of it. You've been listening to our Move of the Game by Spas Etc. Sports Clips brought you the player of the game, Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads. They were your post-game sponsor. And how about Moonlight Home Improvement? They brought you your halftime show. We got a little moonlight coming down on us here at St. Mary's. And can't forget about Bones Barbecue Sauce. Check them out in Minot, North Dakota. Appreciate the Aggie Foundation, folks, and this is big. Each week you're going to get to vote on the PSP Network Player Performance of the Week. Our nominees are going to be posted on social media each Monday, and the winner is announced on Thursday. The Player Performance of the Week is sponsored in part by the Aggie Foundation. Learn about their charitable work at aggiefoundation.com, and I like that, Josh, because as a fan, say you're from Beulah and the wide receiver gets a nominee and he gets added, you get to vote just by commenting. So it's like, okay, it's kind of a competitive thing for fan bases as well.
Absolutely. We got to talk to him about getting the old lineman situation.
We got to figure that out.
Come on. The Aggies, the Aggies, they've had a lot of old line in the past. We got to get that going, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Also, want to thank the Pigskin Preview. They gave us all a lot of our notes, and all of us broadcasters here use the Pigskin Preview. And thank you to United Printing for their continued support of PSP Network. Make sure to grab a PSP Pigskin Preview at Barnes & Noble, wherever you get your books at. That'll be there. And also, BNC National Bank, they brought you the scoreboard tonight. Our pregame sponsor was Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Really appreciate them. And how about the timeout sponsor, First International Bank and Trust? Instant Replay was Ryan Family Dealership and Serve Pro Red Zone. That was a great one. And Devils Lake was a big part of the Serve Pro Red Zone tonight. And Minot State, Taylor Schmidt Photography, Planet Pizza, Northern Plains Heating and Air, BSN, and Farstead Oil. That's a final here on PSP Network. Devils Lake wins big, 55 over St. Mary's 14. My name is Dallas Hanson, alongside Josh Cattell, bidding you adieu this evening. Thank you for choosing PSP Network.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Our stylists are trained to understand